From inside the box, Alex Box Stadium, a battle of wild animals. The Tigers of LSU trying to make a 12th trip to the College World Series in Omaha in the last 18 years, but a first since their 2000 national championship. They're battling the Baylor Bears, who have been to the NCAAs now 6 straight seasons, but haven't made it as far as Omaha in a quarter century. Hi there, everybody. Bob Stevens alongside former LSU Tiger legend Ben McDonald. Ben, these two teams have been among the college elite now for the last half dozen years, but they both had to overcome a whole lot of adversity just to get here tonight.
Yes, they have. It all started last July for the LSU Tigers when they tragically lost number 31, Wally Pontiff, who was their team captain. He was the glue that held this team together. So they have to overcome a lot to get to the point where they are. They also lost 2 frontline starting pitchers, one in Wilson, one in Mestepe. They lost a shortstop, a closer, and also a catcher. So it's been a real tough trip for the Tigers to get here.
They say you got to be strong up the middle, and they've had to make a lot of replacements, but have done it on the fly. Smoke Laval has certainly done a good job there. Meanwhile, for the Baylor Bears, it's been a case of a pretty pat hand all season long until one of those hands got caught in a car door on Tuesday.
That's right. That was tragic. It was for Zane Carlson. 14 2/3 scoreless inning pitches. You can see he will not be a factor this series with all those stitches in his hand.
They certainly hope he can pitch if the Bears can make it to the College World Series in Omaha. Got a lot of great baseball coming up this weekend. Let's bang a gong and get it on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hit it one time for the victory.
What Neyland Stadium and the big house at Michigan are to college football, Alex Box Stadium is to college baseball. LSU has led the nation in home attendance the last 7 straight years. These Baylor Bears have had to play at Texas A&M. They've had to play at Texas. They've had to play the Oklahoma schools, Nebraska on the road. Big crowd of 8,000 shouldn't bother them too much. There's their lineup. Durbin, Murphy, and Ford have hit 1, 2, 3. Every game but one all this season. Nate Bumstead on the mound for the Tigers.
Yeah, Nate Bumstead has been real good with the Tigers. His out pitch is definitely a changeup. 3.92 ERA. The good thing about him, 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, which is very, very good for a college pitcher.
Nate Bumstead throws the fastball and obviously counts on his changeup. We're going to have Ben McDonald explain the 2 different changeups you'll see tonight a little later on. Here's the LSU Tiger defense. Aaron Hill and Blake Gill, the double play combination. Hill, first-round draft pick of the Toronto Blue Jays, 13th overall. He anchors this ball club. The Tigers, winners of their regional, played right here, and of course winners of the Southeastern Conference regular season. 70 degrees. It's warmer than that. Humidity 85%. It's a little muggier than that. But we do have a little bit of a breeze, although for the pitchers it's blowing dead out to center. Ben McDonald, tell me what difference that's going to make.
That's going to make a big difference. The ball carries good here at Alex Box Stadium this time of the year, blowing straight out to center field. We might see a couple of home runs tonight.
The crowd is ready to go. Chris Durbin is stepping in as the first hitter. We're just about to play ball. Best 2 out of 3. Winner goes on to Omaha in the College World Series next Friday. Durbin, the senior out of Wiley, Texas, hit .335 during the regular season, but he is battling a slump. Just 6 of 38 during the postseason, and he is just 10 for 50 in 13 NCAA games. The Baylor Bears getting set to take on the LSU Tigers. The Bears finished 5th in the Big 12, but in the conference tournament in Oklahoma City, took Texas into extra innings in the title game before falling. They were also a 1 seed. The first pitch to Durbin is a strike. Durbin, 17 homers, 47 RBIs. Not very often your leadoff man is your #1 home run hitter, but that is the case with the Baylor Bears. Again, Durbin, Murphy, and Ford have hit 1, 2, 3 every game but one this season. This is how the Tigers got here. They won the regular season in the SEC, lost to Alabama in the championship game of the tournament, and then won the Baton Rouge Regional right here on their home field. The Box, oh, they are tough in postseason here. 57-10 in NCAA games. The Baylor Bears at 44-21. We mentioned they finished 5th in the Big 12, just a half game out of 4th. Runner-up in the Big 12 tournament went to Hattiesburg and took care of things in short order, beating Southern Miss with a 3-run 8th inning. Beat Southern Miss's Eagles 3-2 in what turned out to be the title game. They could have lost that one and still won the next game and finished it off. But Baylor making short work of it. LSU did as well, sweeping their regional. Now Bumstead's gone to 2-2 to Chris Durbin. High fly ball, shallow center field. J.C. Holt almost colliding with Bruce Sproul, the left fielder. Holt says, I had it all the way.
That was a changeup right there. It was a good changeup. That's his out pitch. He got him to pop it up the center field.
Again, the Tigers used to play in here. He saw Sproul coming over looking like he had it. Holt cut in front of him and made the catch. David Murphy, the #1 draft choice of the Baylor Bears. #1 by the Boston Red Sox in Tuesday's draft. All Big 12 first teamer. Takes a half swing strike.
Good changeup.
The numbers on Murphy, unbelievable. A .420 batting average, a .492 on base percentage. And he was voted the most outstanding player in the regional at Hattiesburg, going 5 for 10, scored 4 runs, drove in 2 more, 16 for 36 in the postseason.
That's amazing.
Takes another strike.
He is hot. The amazing thing about him, too, only 22 strikeouts all year long with 40 walks, which is really good.
Yeah, the guy who strikes out less than 10% of the time. You love the contact. Great #2 hitter. Murphy bounces it to short. The play by Hill, the toss across, and there's 2 there.
No surprise there. Bumstead again with a good changeup. Got Murphy out in front. He grounded out to shortstop.
He really makes that his out pitch. He will throw the fastball to just set up the change.
Absolutely. He throws his fastball to set it up. Throws 2 fastballs, the 2-seamer, the 4-seamer. But his changeup is his out pitch. And when it's working good like it is so far tonight, he's going to be hard to get.
Now, he's thrown the changeup on 2 strikes both times. Is that something that Baylor now begins to think, okay, when we get to 2 strikes, expect the change?
Absolutely. They're going to have to look for it. But the problem with that is that he does throw hard enough where they look for changeup. He can sneak an 88-mile-an-hour fastball right by him. So they're in a tough situation.
Check swing strike to Josh Ford, the catcher, the sophomore out of Baytown. Played in all 65 games. He had the game-winning bloop single in the 8th in that regional title win over Southern Miss. Pitch just missed, 1-1. 2 down, top of the first. We're just getting underway. The best 2 out of 3. Winner goes on to Omaha in the College World Series, where Baylor has not been since 1978. Steve Smith, in his 9th year, the head coach at Baylor, has a background at Mississippi State, so he and Smoke Laval know each other real well. Line shot to center field over the head of Holt. He's backing up and it goes off his glove on the track. Rounding second is Ford, and he will turn back and touch second base with a expected to be double off the glove of the racing J.C. Holt in center field.
That's a fastball right there. He threw it on the outside corner of the plate, but the problem with that, it was 2-1, so he knew he was going to throw him a fastball. He made a good swing on it.
So Josh Ford is at second, and Michael Griffin, the cleanup man, is up with 2 out for Baylor. Griffin, .357 for the season out of Cedar Hill High in Dallas, Texas. Curveball catches the outside corner, strike one.
Good strike one pitch right there.
Neither of these pitchers throws real hard. They just try to throw enough harder than their changeup to make the changeup
That's
effective.
right. Bumstead likes to set his changeup up with his fastball. And of course, White's a little more of a power pitcher, which we'll see in a minute.
He has done a great job of getting first pitch strikes to the hitters here in the first inning as well. And now he's got a second pitch strike to Griffin.
That was a great pitch. That was a slider in the dirt right there. Got ahead of him. 0-2, just don't want to make a mistake right here.
Sacamano is on deck. Michael Griffin, all Big 12 first teamer. Nate Bumstead, who has had struggles early in the games. His first 3-inning ERA this year is just under 6. You better get him early. Baylor down to their last strike in the top of the first. The 0-2 is in the dirt. Ford stays at second base. Nice stop by Matt Liazza behind the plate. Liazza was not expected to be the catcher for this much time this season. But again, injuries forced him into the lineup early. There's that pitch in the dirt. Nice job blocking it.
They do a good job. That's what they teach here at LSU. They've got to be able to knock those balls down, even with a guy on third base.
This one up about letter high on Griffin. He pops it up. The play made by the LSU Tigers. So Baylor gets a 2-out double, but that's it. The LSU Tigers will come to bat in a scoreless ball game here in Baton Rouge. Aaron Hill, the SEC Player of the Year, and again, the #1 draft choice of the Toronto Blue Jays, will hit in the middle of the order. Stephen White will get the start for the Baylor Bears. Let's scout him. Let's hear from Coach Steve Smith.
The big difference between Stephen this year and the last couple of years is really his ability to strike guys out. He pitched off his fastball a lot for 2 years and would go through the first half or 3/4 of the season and do pretty well. And it got down towards the end of the year, especially against better clubs in the heat with the wind blowing out. It became a little more difficult to pitch off that fastball.
Stephen White has already won twice in the postseason, beating Southern in Game 2 of the regionals and throwing a complete Game 2 hitter against Missouri in the Big 12 tournament. This is the LSU Tiger lineup he will face. The heart of the order. We already talked about Hill and Gill, the shortstop and second baseman in the middle of that order. Nakarada has been the hot hitter, though, for the LSU Tigers of late. Stephen White gets the start for the Baylor Bears. 8-4, an ERA of 4.5. But as Coach Steve Smith says, he throws strikes, and that's the key.
Yes, he does. Senior right-hander, a lot of experience, about a 2.5 to 1 strikeout to walk ratio, less hits than innings pitched. He's a power pitcher, you know. There it is, 121 strikeouts, 121 innings pitched. That's pretty good.
That's really good. Here's the Baylor defense behind him. And if there's an Achilles heel to this Bear team, it might be the defense. This is a team that committed 100 errors in their 65 games this season. Reynolds and Webb, the double play combination. Griffin and Sacamano on the corners. Chris Durbin and David Murphy very solid in center and right. Savini has just started playing come tournament time for the Bears. Smoke Laval hiding behind a bunch of his LSU Tigers. Smoke in his second year back here in Baton Rouge. He was a longtime assistant to Skip Bertman and has so far done a great job in just continuing the tradition and not having a hard time moving out of Bertman's shadow. You played for Skip. His shadow still looms large here, doesn't it?
Always be here, but Smoke has done a terrific job this year.
Bruce Sproul, the leadoff hitter, takes the first pitch strike. Sproul out of Knoxville. Yeah, he's out of Knoxville. He plays in Baton Rouge, and he says his hobbies include snowboarding. Ground ball to short, where it is grabbed by Trey Webb and threw him out.
Good four-seam fastball right there on the outside part of the plate. Nice ground ball to shortstop.
Now the hottest hitter of the Tigers of late, J.C. Holt stepping in, the center fielder. A freshman All-American at second base last year, but with all the shuffling because of the injuries, Holt has gone into center field. He loves hitting here at the box, a .304 hitter for the season, and yet .325 here at Alex Box. You'll notice he's using a blue bat. Most of his Baylor Bears have taken on the new green Easton bat, picked him up at the regionals. JC says, I'll just stick with the old blue bat. I'll be all right. Yeah, I guess so. He was the most outstanding player in the Baton Rouge Regional, going 9 for 14 with 2 homers and 8 RBI.
He had a terrific series.
Fouls that one off, and he's in an 0-2 hole. Now, will we see Stephen White throw the changeup 0-2 as his 2 strikeout pitch?
I think you may see a breaking ball in the dirt. Sometimes you just want to get a feel for all your pitches in the game. Be a good time for him to more or less waste one, throw it in the dirt, see if he might take a chance to swing at it.
1 out. Fastball outside. Wanted to get Holt chasing it.
Try to get him to chase. It's not a bad idea when you're heading to count. Maybe expand the zone a little bit. Try to get him to chase the pitch.
Aaron Hill is next. 1-2 breaking ball fouled off at the plate. They say it was a fair ball, and they throw him out at first.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. That was a breaking ball. Threw a real good breaking ball right there. Struck him out. He just missed it. The catcher just happened to miss it.
Josh Ford behind the plate will make the play. I guess they said it was strike 3. Didn't hit the bat. I heard a clank, and it was actually off the shin guards.
Right.
The catcher, Josh Ford. So Holt is out. Strikeout. But then 2-3. And here's Aaron Hill, the Californian SEC Player of the Year, second team All-American. Anything he didn't do this season?
No, I tell you what, he was their glue this year. After what happened to Wally Pontiff, the tragedy right there, he was kind of taking over the team leader, definitely.
Hill was supposed to play third base early in the season, but with the injury to the shortstop, he moved back to short, and as you mentioned, took over a huge leadership role after the death of Wally Pontiff. Fastball strike. 90 miles an hour, about as hard as White throws.
That's right.
Hill with an on-base percentage of almost .480 this season. Swings and misses. Stephen White strikes out 2 of the 3 LSU Tigers. He faces in inning number 1. Bears coming up in the top of the second. We've got no score. Mark Sacamano hitting .377, due up first. College baseball, the Super Regionals from Baton Rouge, Baylor and LSU scoreless through 1. Got a chance to send you to school right now. Ben McDonald's going to show us the changeups, very different changeups that Nate Bumstead and Stephen White throw.
Nate Bumstead throws what he calls a circle changeup. Makes a circle right there, holds the ball in his fingertips right there, and really comes over the top of it, and it gives it a tumbling effect. If you listen to the hitters out there, a lot of people think it's a forkball because it's actually tumbling, but it is a changeup.
Stephen White's is much different.
Stephen White's much different. He's just got his four-seam fastball. He's choking it back right there, and he's like pulling a window shade down right there, spinning it backwards, and it's about 12 miles an hour slower than his fastball, and it's been a very effective pitch for him this year.
The best thing about those changeups that you just showed us is you can teach that to your little leaguer, and it's not going to hurt his arm.
That's the pitch you want to show him. Obviously the fastball, but the second pitch a little league kid should learn is a changeup, an off-speed pitch, which is a good changeup for him. Won't hurt the arm at all.
Mark Sacamano leading off the top of the second inning for the Baylor Bears and is in a 1-2 hole. We are scoreless here at LSU, but the breeze is blowing out. It is a muggy evening, and we expect the baseball to be flying before this night is over. Bumstead's 1-2 pitch, swung and a miss, strike 3.
Great pitch. That was a slider out there on the outside corner, bouncing in the dirt, got him fishing.
Sacamano, who strikes out about 18% of the time, waves at this one. And again, Sacamano working out of the strike zone and getting the Baylor Bears a little over anxious.
That's right.
Zach Dillon, the designated hitter, another left-handed bat in the Baylor lineup, and he takes a called strike.
That is the key for Bumstead, is getting ahead in the count, getting ahead 1-2, 0-2, where he can throw that nasty changeup in there and have it bounce the dirt and get the guys try to go for it.
Dillon, just a freshman out of Dowling High School in Urbandale, Iowa, is now in an 0-2 hole. He's batted just 5 times in the postseason, went 1 for 4 in the Big 12 tournament. But that one drove in 3 runs. Dillon in an 0-2 hole. Bumstead misses with the fastball. Just teasing him.
That's right. I mean, that's a good pitch ahead in the count. Tries to get him to go for the outside pitch.
We mentioned the problems that Bumstead has had throughout this season early in ball games. In the SEC tournament, though, he threw a complete game win over Mississippi State, allowing 2 runs, scattering 11 hits, but he only walked 1, and that's the key number.
That's right.
Bumstead, keep his walks down.
Walks down.
2-2, low and in, and the count is full. The first full count of the ball game. Bumstead go back and think things over.
He's had a little bit of trouble, in the early innings, but boy, he really settles down from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th inning. He really catches his groove, and once he gets in the groove, he's hard to beat.
Averages just a little over 2 walks per 9 innings, so he has not been putting a lot of extra runners on base. That time he got Dillon to foul off the fastball.
That's right. That was 3-2 pitch right there. Made a good pitch on the outside part of the plate. Fouled it off.
3-2, 1 out, top of the second. Scoreless here in Baton Rouge. Line shot into the gap in left center, but over to make the catch is J.C. Holt. So Dillon got bat on the ball big time, but Holt ran it down about 10 steps to his right.
He hit that ball good. But this early in the game, 3-2 pitch, you got to say, here it is, hit it at this point in the game. Early in the ball game, here it is, hit it. Made good contact, flew out to center field.
With 2 out in the first, Josh Ford did the same thing, hit a big line drive, but to the other side of Holt, and he couldn't get it. He had to go back on the ball. Here's Trey Webb, the shortstop, and he takes a strike. Webb, considered by Baseball America the top defensive player eligible for the draft, was taken in the 5th round by the Expos. He's also working on a 9-game hitting streak, though. That time the changeup missed. Breaking pitch. A little away, and it's 1-1. Bumstead gets that one over for strike 2.
That's another off-speed pitch. Like you said, Bumstead is going to throw a lot of off-speed pitches tonight.
60 miles an hour that showed up on the gun. Couldn't get arrested for speeding with that pitch. But he now has Trey Webb in an 0-2 hole, or 1-2 hole. Away, 2-2. Rhythmic LSU chant with 2 out and 2 strikes on Trey Webb. Bumstead again shakes off a sign. Fastball, strike 3.
Great pitch.
Trey Webb becomes the 2nd strikeout victim in the 2nd inning by Nate Bumstead. Clay Harris, 2nd on the ball club in home runs, due up 2nd for Baylor. Nowhere else in baseball does a sign get as much attention as that one over the right field wall. They call it the Intimidator. That's because LSU is awfully tough in this ballpark that measures 330 down the lines, 365 to the alleys, and 405 to dead center field. 67-15 are the LSU Tigers in postseason here in the box. And ripping one down the right field line, Blake Gill to lead off the bottom of the 2nd. He's rounding first and into 2nd with a stand-up double. First pitch of the inning by Stephen White.
He jumped all over that first pitch fastball. He was looking fastball, got what he wanted in the middle part of the plate. Hit it hard down the right field line for a double.
Blake Gill hitting 400 in the postseason coming into the game. He's now 11 for 26.
He thought about 3 right there. Thought about going to 3rd, but he thought never want to make the 3rd out there at 3rd base.
Strangely enough, Gill hits better on the road than he does here at the box, but he smoked that one, and it brings Clay Harris to the plate, the big first baseman. Harris, also an All-SEC first-teamer. He was a freshman All-American a year ago as a pitcher. His bat a little stronger than his arm. 13 homers during the season, 2nd on the team, 55 RBIs, also 2nd among Tigers. But he's in a quick 0-2 hole here. Leadoff double by Blake Gill here in the bottom of the 2nd. Clay Harris trying to pick him up. Pitch way outside.
Good pitch. Wasted a breaking ball right there.
White was going to make him swing at something way out of the strike.
That's right.
Going to make it anywhere close.
He needs one of those strikeouts he had all year long right here. He doesn't want to see that runner move up a base where they can get a sac fly. So a punch out for him would be nice right here.
White had 2 strikeouts in the top of the bottom of the 1st. Fastball there is bounced to 2nd, where Reynolds will make the play at first for the out.
That's a nice job of hitting right there. Did what he was supposed to do. He got behind the count, gave himself up, moved the runner up a base. Now the Tigers have an opportunity to get the first run on the board with just a sacrifice fly right here.
Man, they'll try to get that sacrifice fly from Ivan Nakarata as we bring you to Alex Box Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the first game of the best-of-3 Super Regional. The road to Omaha. I'm Bob Stevens alongside former LSU, Baltimore Oriole great, and #1 pick in the '89 draft. Gold medalist. You didn't bring the gold medal.
No, I did. It sits at home.
Ben McDonald joining us. Nakarada, left-handed hitter, takes a pitch outside. He has been smoking hot. A .333 hitter overall, and you see Canadian who speaks 4 languages: English, French, Italian, Slovenian.
He's a very interesting young man. We spoke to him a little bit yesterday.
Pops it up to shoot. Over to get it is the catcher, Josh Ford, and make the play. And Nakarada does not get the run home with the pop-up.
That was very big for Mr. White right there. He made a good pitch on the inside part of the plate, jammed and popped up the infield. He did what he needed to do right there. Popped him up. 2 out, man on third base now is going to take a base hit or a wild pitch score.
So Nakarada does not get the run home, and here's why. Did a good job of getting it in on his hands.
Real good four-seam fastball right in his hands right there. Even with an aluminum bat, that pitch was a great pitch, and he got him out.
Might have broken one of those wooden ones.
That would have definitely broken one of those wooden ones.
You've had a little experience with that. Here's Ryan Patterson.
Good breaking ball right there. Started him off with a good, just get me over type breaking ball right there, which of course the hitter's probably not looking for in this situation.
Patterson, just a sophomore, .324 hitter in the postseason, .357 during the season, second on the club, and he pops one up to shoot. Down to have a look at it is the third baseman Michael Griffin, and he makes the catch. So some tough pitching by Stephen White after the leadoff double, a ground ball and 2 pop-ups. Baylor and LSU still scoreless as we have played 2. The LSU Tigers have won 12 of their last 15. The Baylor Bears 14 of their last 20. They are scoreless through 2 here in Baton Rouge. Join us tomorrow on ESPN2 as we continue on the road to Omaha. Game 2 between LSU and Baylor, and Game 2 of North Carolina, South Carolina at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. Check your local listings for the game in your area, and for more, log on to ESPN.com. South Carolina already a winner over North Carolina in their Game 1 in Columbia. The first pitch by Bumstead in the top of the third to Kyle Reynolds. It was a strike. The second one was low for a ball. We're even at 1. Reynolds, the son, 15-year Major League veteran, Astro Craig Reynolds. Kyle swings and doesn't get the fastball. Kyle's on a 4-game hitting streak, hitting just .295 for the season, but .333. You combine his numbers from the Big 12 tournament and the regional at Hattiesburg. Nice piece of hitting right there by Reynolds, who had no shot to do anything.
That's
really
right. He just real defensive swing right there. Just kind of fouled it off. He must have been looking for an off-speed pitch. Got the fastball. Just had a quick hack at it just to foul it off.
Reynolds, just a freshman, 19 years old, takes the outside fastball and bounces it to second. The throw by Gill is in time. 1 away. There you see Blake Gill, the second baseman. Kevin Seveny steps in now for the Baylor Bears. Seveny, his first start of the season for this freshman out of Springvale, Maine, was in the Big 12 tournament opener against Missouri. He's making his 10th straight start. He fouls it back. Steve Smith trying to insert one more bat into the lineup. A couple of guys on his bench slumping, and so Kevin Seveny will get his chance. He scored the winning run in the Game 1 regional win over Murray State.
There's a changeup right there they just missed. That was a good pitch.
Here's Steve Smith, 342 and 201 in his 9 seasons at Baylor, 12 and 10 in NCAA tournament action, but has not been to Omaha with this bunch. Lines it left to foul. And there's Smoke Laval in just his 2nd season here. He took Louisiana Monroe to the NCAAs. 5 of his 7 years there before getting the call back by Skip Burton. And he served for a dozen here for 10 years. 2-2 the count to Seveny. 1 down here in the top of the 3rd. Bumstead's fastball is lined into the crowd down the right field line.
These Baylor hitters are starting to realize that Bumstead's out pitch is his changeup. He was sitting back waiting for a changeup right there. Got the fastball, fouled it off down the right field line.
And again, it was the 2-strike changeup that we've been talking about.
That's right.
Bumstead lived on during the first inning and a half. Now they're looking for it.
I'm sure there's somebody in their dugout charting every pitch.
He's smoking with the fastball. Outside corner, strike 3 call.
Great pitch.
That's the 3rd strikeout in the last 5 hitters for Bumstead.
Actually missed his spot a little bit, but the point was he threw him a few changeups early, and they were sitting there looking for the changeup, threw the fastball, threw it right by him.
Nate Bumstead's going to make a whole lot of money in the pros if he can throw that pitch consistently.
That's right. That's right. But he throws so many changeups, so many off-speed pitches. He's really got the Baylor hitters guessing right now.
All right, second time around. Here's Chris Durbin, and he hits the first pitch into the alley in left center. It is cut off by Bruce Sproul, and Durbin will be held to a single. Chris Durbin swinging at the first pitch. The base hit to left.
This is a first pitch changeup. You can see it. See the grip in his hand right there. Got a little bit out in front. But like I said, the Baylor hitters are definitely starting to look for the changeup a little bit more now. And he went up there and looked for a first pitch changeup, which is unusual. But with Bumstead, you have to do it.
Bumstead changing his pattern, and Durbin guessed correctly. He said, well, maybe he'll throw the changeup first rather than last.
You got to be able to make adjustments during the game, and I'm sure they're going to be making constant adjustments. These hitters will start to adjust to Bumstead. He might have to change his repertoire a little bit.
David Murphy bounced to short his first time up. He led the Big 12 in batting. You saw the number there, 420. Led it by 24 points.
That's an amazing year. 420.
Sent a conference record in hits with 118. Takes a pitch just outside. Now he's ahead in the count 2-0. So what's Murphy looking for?
Murphy's the kind of guy, he's a real good hitter. He hits the ball to the opposite field a lot. He kind of sprays it all across the field. So I would think still 2-0, he's going to look for a fastball right here, just because even if he does throw the changeup, he can take it and still be ahead in the count for the next pitch.
Fastball on the inside corner. Taking 2-0.
Yep.
Murphy.
And that's a hitter's count, obviously. He wants a pitch he can drive. He's looking for something in the center part of the plate right there that he can really drive. But he threw a little bit on the inside corner. Did a nice job of taking it. He's still ahead in the count 2-1.
Baylor had a 2-out double in the bottom of the top of the first by Josh Ford. But Michael Griffin couldn't bring him home. Now with 2 out, Murphy's got 2 strikes on him with the runner at first.
Bumstead came back with his out pitch right there. He threw the changeup.
2-2. Do you send the runner now, or do you wait till 3-2?
I think you got to send him.
Here he goes. Murphy looking for the hole, but Gill covers it up and throws him out. David Murphy bouncing out to second, and the Baylor Bears get a hit, but nothing else. They've got 2 hits, no runs on the board. LSU Tigers. John Zarang coming up. This is LSU's 5th straight Super Regional appearance, but only the 2nd time they've hosted. The other time they hosted was the other time they went to the College World Series in the last few years, the 2000 team that won here over UCLA and went on to win in Omaha.
That's right, won the national championship.
Leading off, John Zarang, and he takes the first pitch inside. Zarang is the last hitter before this Super Regional for the Bengal Tigers. He hit a Game 3 walk-off homer against North Carolina Wilmington to win the regionals in the 11th inning. Now he's even at the count 1-1 against Stephen White. White fanned at 2 in the first. Looking for his 3rd strikeout. Misses outside there, 2-1.
We saw what he was made of in the last inning. Man on third base, only 1 out. He had to make some big pitches, and he did it too. 2 weak pop-ups there in the infield to shut the Tigers down.
Matt Liuzza, the catcher, is on deck. Zarang, a sophomore, 19 years old. Louisiana native. Stephen White, the long, tall Texan. 3-1 pitch. High and in, ball 4. First walk of the game, and it puts Zarang on with a leadoff walk. will bring Liuzza to the plate. Freshman catcher from Metairie. Replaced starter Dunstan Weaver 10 games into the season. A little different than a lot of teams. You saw Steve Smith with the signs there. A lot of teams, the skipper, it's a pitching coach who calls the pitches. With Baylor, it's Coach Steve Smith, head coach. Pitching has been his background, so he still calls the pitches.
That's right. Coach Bertman called all the pitches, though, when he was here, you know, and of course his background was pitching, too. And he called all the pitches here at LSU.
And after that first pitch ball, out to have a talk with his pitcher is catcher Josh Ford. Maybe changing up the signals a little bit because the other catcher's at the plate.
That's right. You would think he's going to sacrifice himself right here in this situation.
289 hitter on the season, Liuzza, but 352 here at the box, just 220 on the road. Gets the bat around, gets the bunt down, the first baseline foul. So LSU playing for one. There he is, Skip Bertman, the athletic director here at LSU. Got a seat right next to the Baylor dugout. There is his number. Retired. Look at that. 5 national championships for Skip Bertman in his 18 seasons.
That's impressive.
What might be even more impressive, 5 championships. He went to Omaha 11 times.
That's right.
11 times in 18 years. And went all the way to the College World Series. Took him a while to win that first one.
Yeah, I was one of the second team to go, and it, you know, Skip had the big deal was that you had to be there a few times before you could win it, before everybody felt confident, before the confidence got going, and that's what it took. It took us getting there a few times. The other kids said, "Hey, if we can get there, we can win it." And sure enough, you know, they started willing them off.
4 times in the 90s, 91, 93, and then the back-to-backs in 96 and 97. Great Warren Morris last pitch thunderbolt to beat Miami.
That's right.
They still talk about that here in Baton Rouge.
They sure do. I mean, the fans here in Baton Rouge are really spoiled from what's happened, the success the Tigers have had over the years. It is really extremely, extremely difficult, as we all know, to do what they've done. And they've, I get worried sometimes we're getting spoiled around here.
Yeah, they're getting spoiled. They're kind of angry. They haven't been in a couple of years. Line drive to the shortstop. Webb makes the play, and scurrying back to first base is Zarang. So Liuzza hit that one on the button. But right at the shortstop, Trey Webb. Stephen White's pitch. A little further in than he wanted.
That ball actually knuckled out there. You could tell the way the shortstop, the ball was knuckling to him the whole way. That's a good play. That's a tough ball to catch, line drive, knuckling at you like that.
And a good play by Zarang not to overcommit, heading towards second base after he had the 2 bunt attempts. Here's Bruce Sproul. Now it's the second time through for LSU, and the first pitch strike.
Good pitch on the outside corner of the plate right there.
When they play in the conference tournaments, these teams have seen their opponents and they've seen the other pitcher, and they got a little bit of a book to work with.
Right.
Here in the NCAA tournament, you really have to start all over and work from a blank canvas.
I'm sure they have a scouting report on White, and they know what pitches he's thrown. Now they probably talked to some other coaches across the country, and probably have some tapes, some videotapes they've went back and they've looked at.
Bob Stevens alongside Ben McDonald, but Sproul learned a whole lot in his first time at bat when he bounced to the shortstop. That's what he's going off of, is what have I seen from him tonight.
That's right. It's going to get harder and harder for both these starting pitchers to continue to get these guys out. Once they see the changeup a few times from Bumstead, once they see the fastball and the curveball from White, it's going to get harder and harder.
The 0-1 pitch misses outside. Stephen White led the Big 12 in strikeouts, led the Big 12 in starts, led the Big 12 in innings pitched. He's 7th in opponent's batting average. And this start ties him with Pittsburgh Pirate Kip Wells for the school record in starts in the season with 19. Pull down the first baseline foul. Sproul is now in a hole 1 and 2. Interesting story on Sproul. He had 429 this season against the Tennessee Volunteers. Sproul, a Knoxville native, hit a leadoff homer. His first at game against the Vols. Led off the game and hit one out. What a highlight that must be. Strike 3 call. Strikeout number 3 for Stephen White.
Seemed like when White gets in a little bit of trouble, he always can reach back and get a little something. That was a great fastball, 94 miles an hour off the outside corner.
And Stephen White, a 4th-round pick of the Yankees. Make him some money throwing pitches like that if he can continue to do it. J.C. Holt struck out in the first. Now up there with 2 out and still at first base. John Zarang after the leadoff walk. J.C. Holt. I wonder if he's wearing the contact lenses tonight. He wears them for night games because of an astigmatism. It's just now getting to the point where the lights are having a bit of an effect. The amazing thing is how it helped him at the plate. J.C. Holt hit .246 before changing to the contact lenses for the night games. He's hit .405 since.
It sure helps to see a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've been doing this blind all season.
That's right.
.246, pretty amazing.
Pretty good. If you're not seeing the ball real good.
Holt, sophomore from Seeper, Louisiana. You were going to tell me where that was.
That's a little small town near Alexander, Louisiana.
Okay.
I had to ask him. I'm from Louisiana. I still didn't know where that was.
Stephen White, a little worried with Zarang over at first, and is behind on the count. 1-0 to J.C. Holt. Fastball, foul back, and then even at 1-1.
He's got a real live fastball. I mean, you can tell. I mean, he was behind the count 1-0 right there. Threw that basically right down the middle. They're still behind it a little bit, but he's a real live fastball tonight. Interesting.
Baylor coach Steve Smith saying he got away, lived on that fastball, and pretty much nothing else for
That's
3
right.
years, and has really come up with the breaking pitch here his senior year.
He really developed the breaking ball this year, and he's got just as many strikeouts.
There's that changeup, strike 2.
Tell you what, he's got everything working tonight, you know, and the good thing about him, what's impressive about him, when he has gotten a little bit of trouble tonight, he's been able to get out of it. He's reached back for a little something extra here and there, and he's been able to do it so far.
Leadoff double in the second, leadoff walk in the third. First runner didn't score. The second one, well, Zarang's still hanging at first base with a 2-2 count on Holt. Mentioned Holt his first time up, coming off a 9-for-14 regional, where he fanned only once in 14 at bats. He struck out about a quarter of the time during the season, so he's obviously seeing the ball better and making better contact.
Yeah, these Tigers have taken turns being the star this year. It's been one guy, hadn't been a consistent. It's one guy to another, and they've really done a nice job of kind of spreading. And the great thing about them, they don't care who gets all the publicity, who gets all the attention.
Both teams have been quite a bit this way. That's one of the things that makes them so much alike. Pitch just missed. Stephen White thought he might have had strike 3.
That was a good break. Went for the breaking ball and a 2-2 pitch right there.
All right, 3-2. Zarang will be running on the pitch. You see the Tigers cheering him on and hoping J.C. Holt can make a little something happen. Little Alex Box magic. Ball 4.
3-2 breaking ball right there. He missed with it.
And now Stephen White has just bought himself a heap of trouble. Tried to bend it around the plate.
He tried the backdoor breaking ball right there. Tried to bend it around the corner back there, but left it a little bit out there.
So the senior from League City, Texas, now going to get all he wants from Aaron Hill, the second-team All-American, first-round pick of the Blue Jays, the 10th first-round draft pick in LSU baseball history. My sidekick, Ben McDonald, one of those 10.
This is the man. He's their man. He's who they wanted to play in this situation. Runners in scoring position.
He was a 7th-round pick of the Angels coming out of high school. And usually 7th round coming out of high school, they wave a little money at you, and a lot of guys will take that.
He really wanted to play here at LSU. You know, he grew up wanting to play at LSU. Talked to him a little bit yesterday, and he is not at all disappointed about his decision to go to LSU and not going to play pro ball.
He swung at and did not get that pitch. Stephen White threw just 17 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. He has thrown now 21 pitches here in the 3rd inning alone. 2 on, 2 out, but 2 strikes on Aaron Hill. .368 hitter during the season that struck out only 7% of the time. So White was not going to get him to wave at that pitch high and away.
He's a very disciplined hitter. Obviously, he's got great numbers this year. And be surprised if he swings at too many bad pitches. Like you said, doesn't strike out a whole lot.
He has hit in 14 of his last 15 games. Struck out in the first, and the 1-2 offering just missed. Did he swing? No. The first base umpire.
Wow, that was so close. That's a really good pitch right there.
Frank Sylvester said no swing. You make the call.
It's a breaking ball right off the outside corner. Wow, that's a great pitcher's pitch right there. An amazing job of Hill to hold up and not swing at it.
Oh, Hill would have liked that little duck snort single if he'd gotten it, though. 2-2. Was that White's big chance to get him? He gets Hill this time to pop up. Oh, down the right field line and about 12 rows back into the crowd.
I like the way Stephen White pitches. He throws, we've seen him here on the radar gun, you know, 88, 89 miles an hour. But when he needs a little something extra, he's been able to reach back and get that good hard four-seam fastball. That's another 94-mile-an-hour fastball right there.
41 pitches, not bad if he can get out of the inning with it not being any more than 42 or 3 or 4.
No damage as of yet, you know, but he's got to get an out right here.
Yeah, the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Aaron Hill, number 3, right at the plate here at 2-2 with 2 out. Fastball, got him, looking. So Aaron Hill has struck out twice. 4 strikeouts in the game for Stephen White. We're still scoreless through 3. 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up for Baylor in the top of the 4th of this scoreless game 1 of the best of 3. Nate Bumstead. Night is over. Bumstead's 1-2.
That was a changeup right there. Good fastball right there. And for his 3rd strikeout, another fastball on the outside corner right there.
Again, Bumstead not a strikeout pitcher. 79 in 96 and a 3rd innings. He's a control pitcher. 44 pitches through 3 innings. That's not a bad total on a humid night.
He's doing a great job throwing a lot of strikes. He's established his fastball as well as his breaking ball. Of course, his out pitch, his changeup.
Josh Ford gets a fastball and pops it up. Moving down the 3rd baseline is Nakarada, but he gives way to Aaron Hill, who makes the catch.
Yeah, that's a much easier angle right there for the shortstop to make that play.
Baylor Bears swinging at a first pitch there by Ford. In Ford's case, Michael Griffin up next.
He backed off and Hill called him off because, like I said, the angle is much better for Hill to make that play. But it's a nice job of communicating out there.
Shortstop will generally make that call if he gets the chance. So Bumstead, 1 pitch, 1 out. That's better than those strikeouts. His first pitch to Griffin is a strike. Michael Griffin, you see the numbers during the season, 76 RBI, 357 average. He popped up to 2nd to end the 1st inning. That pitch got away from Bumstead.
That's that circle changeup. You know, it's really a tough pitch to control. And
how hard is it to throw on a night like tonight?
It can be tough. I see him using the rosin bag a lot out there. You'll see him go to the rosin a lot out there. That's because it's so humid, so sweaty. He's got to be able to hold the ball in his hand, obviously.
A high pop-up by Michael Griffin into shallow center field. J.C. Holt makes the catch, and we have 2 down. What all can Bumstead do, Nate Bumstead? Let's ask his coach, Smoke Laval.
He has a changeup that if you're a professional scout, you would like to call it the split finger. If you're watching it from the side, it looks like a slide ball. He does throw strikes. He can control the running game okay, but he's got, I'm telling you, it's a changeup that he could throw 80, 90 times a ball game, and it reacts a little bit different.
Smoke Laval talking about Nate Bumstead and his changeup. He's got Mark Sacamano in an early hole. Bumstead from Las Vegas, Nevada, hometown of Greg Maddux. In fact, Bumstead was telling us the story. He lives down the street from Maddux and used to catch him when he'd come home for the wintertime.
Yeah.
He learned how to pitch from Maddux by catching him.
I tell you what, his best pitch is a changeup, and Greg Maddux, I don't think there's a better person out there to learn how to throw a changeup than Greg Maddux.
Sacamano in an 0-2 hole waves at what looked like another changeup. Baylor coming up empty. 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. LSU with Blake Gill to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back to Baton Rouge, across the street from Tiger Stadium, the place to be on Saturday nights in the fall. This is the place to be just about any weekend in late spring. Alex Box Stadium in Baton Rouge.
You can see Bumstead right there. Change up, and yet another change up. 3 straight change-up, strikeout right there. I mean, he's really got his change-up working tonight.
Sacramento was out in front of all 3 of them. Blake Gill up to lead it off for LSU in the bottom of the 4th. Gill doubled down the right field line on the first pitch from Stephen White. The first time he saw him. This time takes one low for ball 1. Gill, another one of those guys who walks more than he strikes out, and there are a lot of those, believe it or not, in this LSU lineup. This is a bunch that has actually walked more times than it has struck out throughout this NCAA tournament run.
That's
throughout
amazing.
The postseason.
That's really amazing. These guys are very patient at play. They're going to make the other pitcher throw strikes.
For a team to do it, it's just unbelievable. Gill rips a base hit to center field. He's 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Hitting the ball very hard.
He spanked both of them. So he led off the 2nd inning with a double, but was left at 3rd.
These LSU hitters, you got to get ahead of them. If you're constantly pitching 2-0 to them like that, you got to throw a fastball. These guys are going to hit the ball hard somewhere every time.
As well as Stephen White has worked the strike zone. That time the hitter worked him, got him in a 2-0 hole, and he had to throw the fastball down.
He got him in a hitter's count. Of course, you never want to walk the first batter of an inning, so he had to throw him a strike right there. Been a nice pitch, you know, down the middle part of the plate. It was down the zone, which is good, but still 2-0. He's going to have a good swing at it most of the time.
Stephen White now facing Clay Harris, the big first baseman, the all-conference performer. Breaking pitch misses inside. That was that changeup, wasn't it?
I think it was. That's definitely an off-speed pitch right there. Harris is a very good fastball hitter. Obviously, in this situation, he's trying to trick him a little bit, throw him an off-speed pitch.
Harris, a .335 hitter on the season. .623 slugging percentage. So he brings out the big, I guess we can't call it lumber.
Aluminum, yeah. White's flirting with a little danger right here. He got 2-0 behind the first hitter. Gill got a base hit. Now he's 2-0 again to the big slugger. He's starting to dig himself a little bit of a hole. It's not a situation he wants to be in. The great thing about it, one good pitch right here gets him a double play.
And Harris will do that. He grounded into a number of them during the regional. 4 of them, I believe. Yep, 4 of them during the regional alone in just 3 games.
He's still got a real live fastball. You see there's another hitter's count. 2-0 right there, and he fouls it down the right field line. He can't even get around over the 2-0 count.
Clay Harris, his little brother Will, also an LSU Tiger. They both lost their mother when Clay was 8 and Will was 6 in a car wreck. Raised by their grandparents. And you can't get anyone in this LSU bunch to say a bad word about him, except Will says Clay's got a little hotter temper. You can tell because the controller to the video game, one of them's a different color. It got broken.
His brother's for you.
High fastball strike at 90 miles an hour. And the count is now level at 2-2.
Yeah, he's worked himself back into his favor now, 2-2. Throwing him off fastballs. Wouldn't be surprised to see a nice breaking ball right here.
Harris, the sophomore from Slidell. White, the big senior from League City, Texas. And Harris didn't quite get it all. The fly ball to center field. It will chase Gill back to first base. And Harris is the first out.
That's a good 4-seam fastball right there. Just got in on him just enough right there to pop him up.
Harris didn't quite get the fat part of the bat on the ball.
That's right. And that pitch was right down the middle of the plate. I'm sure that's not where he was trying to throw it, but he got away with one right there.
Here's Nakarada, the all-tournament performer, 8 of 15 in the regional that LSU swept last weekend here at Alex Box. Takes a strike. Nakarada, .332 for the season, 52 RBIs. Grew up with a picture of, well, who else? Patrick Waugh on his wall in Quebec. Takes the fastball and fouls that one back.
That's hockey country up there.
Easy to 0-2 hole. Stephen White, who is now number 2 in season innings pitched on the all-time Baylor list, to Jason Jennings. Colorado Rockies Rookie of the Year. Throwing a bunch of pitches now as we get deeper into the ball game. Strike 3 call. So Nakarada strikes out.
Hey, sharp worker, Nakarada right there.
That's the 4th strikeout.
That's a real good breaking ball right there. 0-2 got ahead of him. Threw a nasty curveball. Really just froze him right there.
Oh, and he was guessing, and he guessed wrong. So Stephen White now with 2 out on the runner at first. Again, a leadoff man gets on for LSU.
It's kind of like he needs to get in a little bit of trouble before he gets going, you know. And when he gets the runners on base, he has been nails, though. He's been really tough.
Ryan Patterson at the plate. Patterson, the DH, popped it up to the third baseman. 2 out and a runner at third back in the 2nd inning. And he drives that one to left field. It is caught crossing the line. Kevin Seveny chased it down in the left field corner, and Patterson hits a ball about as hard as we have seen hit all night. But Seveny runs it down. We are still scoreless through 4. Trey Webb in his 21 doubles leads off the 5th. LSU averaged 7.5 runs a game. Baylor averaged more than 8. We are scoreless into the top of the 5th. Join us tomorrow on ESPN2 as we continue on the road to Omaha. Game 2 of this series between LSU and Baylor, and Game 2 of North Carolina and South Carolina. In Columbia, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. Check the local listings for the game in your area, and for much more, of course, log on to ESPN.com. Zach Dillon, DH, leading it off for Baylor here on the top of the 5th. Dillon hit a line drive to center his last time up. It's Nate Bumstead.
Hadn't seen him behind the count too often. Now he's 2-0. He's going to lead off batter right here. But we're seeing 2 pitchers tonight that are definitely on top of their games. I mean, they've been impressive for going to the 5th inning right here. Only 4 hits total in the game.
Hey, it's tournament time. Time to get tough.
Well, these are the number ones. These are their best pitchers. The best pitchers have been the best for them all season long. That's who you throw out in the first game of a series like that. And these guys are just living right up to what they're supposed to do right here. They're doing a great job out here tonight. It's going to be up to the offenses on both sides to try to squeak a run or 2 across.
Bumstead in trouble, 3-0. And there's the gimme strike, 3-1, as Dillon was taking all the way. Yeah, when you're playing in those tournaments with multiple teams, and you got to kind of budget your pitching. But in this just 2 out of 3 series, it's, hey, let's play our number 1s and then our number 2s. Ball kicked at second by Gill, but he throws it to first in time. Blake Gill kept it in front of him. That was the key to making that one.
Absolutely. Did a nice job right there, knocking it down. The ball took a little bit of a tricky hop on him. You'll see right here. Kind of jumped up on him right there. Does a nice job getting in front of it, staying with it, knocks it down. Close play at first base. Nice job right there.
A real close play there at first base. Here's Trey Webb, the shortstop. Bounces one foul. Webb struck out his first time up, and that's news. He only does it about 13% of the time. Also doesn't walk much. Putting the bat on the ball. Doesn't there, though. And now he's in an 0-2 hole.
He froze him last time on a good 4-seam fastball. Threw him a lot of changeup early in the count, and snuck the fastball right by and had him looking for another changeup and snuck a fastball in there on him.
Steve Smith said before the Hattiesburg Regional, there isn't a team we've had here at Baylor I'd rather take on the road than this one. They're here at Alex Box in a scoreless duel with the LSU Tigers. Trey Webb now 1-2. There's Steve Smith, who has tutored 6 first-round draft pick pitchers in his last 11 years. Bumstead, this will be his 60th pitch of the game.
As usual, throwing a lot of strikes. Not walking many guys.
That one waved at by Webb.
That's another changeup. He's throwing him 3 or 4 changeups right here. This at bat, and it might be time again to try to sneak the fastball by him. That's 2 changeups in a row, so I wouldn't be surprised here to see a nice fastball, maybe on the outside part of the plate. He froze him the last at bat. Had him looking on him strike out.
What are we doing with that camera? That camera covered down the third baseline. It's not good, right? The ball is low and away. Did I just jinx this?
I hope not. We've been kind of dodging it all day long. We've had, you know, The last 5 or 6 weeks, not much rain here at all. Of course, when tournament time rolls around, trying to get a regional in, we're getting a little bit of rain this weekend.
There's the big tarp, and yep, the cameraman's got him a souvenir. Taking home to the kids. Bouncer to third. Nakarada, the toss across in time, and quickly there are 2 out. So a bouncer to second by Dillon, bouncer to third by Webb. That'll save on Bumstead's pitch count.
He's just on top of his game tonight. He's throwing all of his pitches for strikes. The changeup is really working. He's got these guys guessing. He got them off balance right now.
Here's Kyle Reynolds, who bounced out to second his first time up. Reynolds, 9 of 28 in the postseason, and he bounces it to first. Taking it to the bag is Clay Harris. A very quick 1, 2, 3 inning by Nate Bumstead. We are through 4.5 in Baton Rouge. Baylor and LSU are scoreless. Whole lot of goose eggs up on the board here at Alex Box Stadium. Hey, what did the Yankees see in Stephen White that made him a 4th-round pick, Ben?
I can tell you what they saw. How about that 4-seam fastball right there? There's another one, 94 miles an hour right there. Doing a great job spotting, and there's a nasty breaking ball that he has right there. So he has a lot for the Yankees to look forward to.
If he doesn't have an Uncle Charlie, that would be him right there. Huh?
And that's amazing. He's developed that pitch, like Coach Steve Smith said, just in the last year. And that's the amazing thing about it. He was basically a 2-pitch pitcher for 3 years, but he's got it going now. That's why he's a big draft pick.
Kind of on the fly. Zarang fouls the first pitch at the bottom of the 5th back. Stephen White, if he can win this game, will tie Burl Coker for the school record, 28 career victories. Right now he's tied with only Jason Jennings for second on the list. Jason, the National League Rookie of the Year. Fastball strike at 90. There you go.
A few years ago.
Yeah. 87 or 88 and 89. You had 2 fabulous years here. Number on the wall as the player of the year in college baseball in 1989 and the #1 pick overall in the draft.
Exciting time.
The good news we can tell everyone is that Ben saved his money.
That's right.
Although you've actually poured it into a big spread over across the river in Mississippi. High fly ball just into foul territory, caught by 70. And Zarang is out. 70 making the last 2 plays. You remember he made that play crossing the line to end the 4th.
Right.
Get Zarang right there.
Got Zarang on a breaking ball on the outside part of the play. Got him just enough out in front.
Tell us about the other number 19.
The other night, number 19, Booster Smith passed away 4 or 5 years ago, I guess it was, and they put his number up there too. And he was a player that was here before I was.
You got to wear his number, and then they put it away.
Put it away.
And then they put it away. The other number you saw out there, of course, the 31 of Wally Pontiff, who just very surprisingly passed away last summer. Playing in the Cape Cod League. Came home for a few days and apparently an enlarged heart. Passed away, but he's still watching for the right field wall, watching these Bengal Tigers. Interestingly enough, he played on the same team in the Cape Cod League with a number of Baylor Bears.
That's right.
Who were just as shocked, obviously, that anything had happened, as were his teammates here with the Tigers. David Murphy, the right fielder, we talked to him yesterday about that. He said they were just stunned. They had come to become big fans of Wally Pontiff. This is Matt Liuzza, the catcher, who has worked Stephen White to a full count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. This is the first time in the last 4 innings that LSU hadn't gotten the leadoff man on. Liuzza, little check swing, blooper into right center field for a base hit.
There's an excuse me base hit right there.
Liuzza will excuse that one all the way into the box score as a line drive.
He's laughing about it too. He just decided to make his mind up swing at the last second and got lucky. Sometimes just put the bat on the ball. You never know where it's going to go.
You know, could Stephen White argue that, hey, wait a minute, he didn't swing? You know, that was one of those swing, not swing kind of plays.
Those are the kind of hits you hate to give up. You'd rather take one off the shin than give up something like that.
That wouldn't have been swinging strike 3 if he'd have missed it. Back to the top of the order, Bruce Sproul, 1 on, 1 out. Tigers trying to break through in this scoreless pitchers duel. Sproul takes on the outside corner, strike 1. He struck out his last time up, and again he only strikes out 8% of the time. Great bat control by half a dozen players on each of these two good teams. Blowing away for a ball.
There's a big hole over there in between first and second. Be nice for him to pull the ball through the hole right there. Maybe get first and third going for the Tigers with 1 out.
Sproul looking into the dugout for a sign from Smoke Laval. Sproul's been cold lately. Hitting under 225 here in the postseason. 0 for 2 tonight. And they call a balk. In college baseball, you have to come to a discernible stop. Not a 1-second stop, but a stop that's discernible. And that time, he had made the move, according to the home plate umpire, toward home plate.
That was a balk move right there. What we call a balk move. It's a real marginal move right there. What he did was jerked his head up and kind of twisted his front shoulder. You might see it right there.
Steve Smith out for an explanation from home plate umpire Joe Burleson.
He's going to twitch his shoulder a little bit right here, jerk his head up. You see him do it. That's a marginal call, though. That's a tough call for a pitcher right there. I mean, it's called a balk move. Not really designed, obviously, to get a balk for a pitcher. It's just a good pickoff move when you think somebody might be trying to steal. But that's one of those calls that could go either way. Obviously, Steve Smith's not happy about it at all.
It was a discernible stop. Was it a twitch toward home plate before he went to first base? So that's what the umpire called. And Stephen White and obviously his coach Steve Smith do not agree. Sproul is back in now with a count at 1-1.
That's when White needs to regain his composure right here, shake it off. He's got 1 out right here. Needs to make a couple of good pitches.
Liuza at second. And Sproul takes just low. So Stephen White got to control his emotions right here.
Absolutely.
Got a balk call, got a low knee-high pitch.
That could have been a strike right there, too. He got a couple bad calls against him right there. But this is where his senior leadership, being a 4th-year player, should take over a little bit, calm himself down, make a good pitch.
The 2-1 fastball hit by Sproul into the gap in left center field. On the run and making the catch is 70. And trotting back to second base is Liuza. So a long fly ball the other way by Sproul, but it stays in the park.
2-1 fastball right there on the outer third of the plate right there. But he's throwing the ball extremely hard tonight. Drove the ball pretty good, but he definitely regained his composure, shook it off, made a good pitch right there.
Sproul, one of those guys with warning track power, hit only 1 home run during the season and got that one out to the track,
right,
but not between the 2 fielders.
He's one of the guys you got to say, hey, here it is, hit it in that situation. You got to make him beat you. He did what he was supposed to do right there. Threw him a good hard 4-seam fastball down the middle of the plate, made him put the bat on the ball. Got him a nice fly out right there, 2 out, still man on second base.
So now with the 2 down, J.C. Holt at the plate. He takes 1 outside for a ball. Holt struck out in the first, walked in the third. And this is a guy who does have a tendency to strike out almost a quarter of the time during the season. Though has done it only twice in the postseason.
Yeah, he's been really, really hot in the postseason.
Misses the high fastball there. He really wanted that one.
Yeah, he's a little bit over aggressive right there. Got the count in his favor and took a home run cut right there.
Okay, let me hit that eye-high pitch about eye-high to right center. Huh?
And when Mr. White's throwing the ball 90-something miles an hour, it's going to be hard to catch up to that pitch.
The 1-1 is fouled back. J.C. Holt, how about this in the regional? Went 4 for 5, then 3 for 4, then 2 for 5. 9 for 14, 8 runs batted in. Hit a couple of homers, 2 of the 5 he has hit this year. He's a .480 hitter in NCAA play, counting his action last season as well. Swings and doesn't get that one. He has struck out twice in this game. That is 5 strikeouts in the game for Stephen White. The Baylor Bears turn away LSU in the 5th. We're going to the top of the 6th, still scoreless in Baton Rouge. Welcome back to the capital city of Louisiana. Some storm clouds on the horizon, but so far we have dodged most of the raindrops. Good thunderstorm rolled through this morning, but we have stayed high and dry at Alex Box Stadium. Bob Stevens, Ben McDonald bringing you the Super Regional. Winner of this best 2 out of 3 heads to Omaha. Nate Bumstead, just 63 pitches through 5 innings.
Doing a great job. These guys are pitching a heck. We have a pitcher, obviously a pitcher's duel right here. They're both on top of their game when they need to be for their ball clubs.
Bumstead's first pitch to Kevin 70 is a strike at 85 miles an hour.
No surprise tonight for Bumstead. Lots of changeups, lots of off-speed pitches. Just what Baylor knew he was going to do, but those off-speed pitches are so good that even though they know they're coming, they're still very hard to hit.
Count even at 1-1, 70. 1 homer and 7 RBIs in 44 at bats. Hits it foul, or 1 homer and 7 RBIs in 44 ABs, and does tend to strike out a lot. He struck out in the 3rd, strikes out better than a third of the time. So he just needs to start making contact a little better. Bumstead got through his tough innings. In his second 3 innings this season, he's at an ERA of 1.30 and hasn't given up a 4th inning run all year. And he punches out Kevin 70 right there. That is his 5th strikeout tonight. He's gotten 70 twice. Allowed just 2 hits in 5 1/3.
He's actually setting his fastball up now with his changeup. He's throwing lots of changeups, and then he's freezing these guys right at the end with the 4-seam fastball because they keep looking for the changeup.
Yeah, the strikeout total is 5. Folks here in Baton Rouge wouldn't get that wrong, would they? Chris Durbin takes a first pitch strike, and again, you throw strike 1, and the pitcher is definitely in command.
Absolutely. Strike 1 is the most important pitch. If you can get strike 1 on the hitter, the pitcher begins to get in control at that point. And then if you move further along, throw 2 out of the first 3 pitches for a strike. It's kind of what the goal is in any league, no matter where you're playing, whether it's college or pro ball.
Durbin flied to center and then singled in the 3rd. He has one of the 2 hits. Been fighting a little slump. Amazingly, a guy can slump and still hit .335. Durbin has been doing just that. Count now 1-2. He's in a hole. Just 7 for 39 now in the postseason.
And when you're in a slump, you don't want to see a guy like this. But typically, when you're in a slump, you're not waiting on the ball. You're getting out in front of it. When you got a guy throw all these breaking pitches and changeups, it's really tough when you're in a slump.
Baylor hoping for a big shot right here. Steve Smith's crew. Durbin led the team in home runs. He's the leadoff man. And he grounds a single into left field. Chad Durbin is now 2 for 3. And the Bears trying to make a little something happen here in the top of the 6th. With the big hitters, Murphy, and then the 3-4-5 coming up after that.
That was a slider right there. 1-2 slider right there. Wasn't a bad pitch. Just didn't get it far enough outside. He was able to put it in the hole with the aluminum bat right there for a base hit.
Good piece of hitting.
Really good piece of hitting. We talked about staying back. He stayed back a little bit longer right there on that off-speed pitch and was able to get just enough on it to drive it between the hole, between short and 3rd right there.
That brings to the plate David Murphy. 417 hitting David Murphy. #1 pick of the Boston Red Sox. Takes one inside.
Real nice young man. We visited with him a little bit yesterday. Has a good head on his shoulders. Really enjoyed talking to him for a while.
He and his teammate Stephen White, the pitcher, are going to become rivals after Baylor's run ends. As I mentioned, Murphy, the #1 pick of the Red Sox, White, the 4th round pick of the Yankees.
Right.
Durbin steals second without a throw. That's Durbin's 8th steal of the season.
That's the only bad thing about throwing a lot of off-speed pitches. He got a good jump right there, guessed right on the pitch, got a change up down in the dirt, which is the easiest pitch to steal off of. No chance for the catcher to throw him out.
Steal it standing up. So Murphy now with a duck on the pond, as we used to say. He has 64 RBI during the season. Durbin has scored 90 runs in 65 games. Wow. 90.
Bumstead in a little bit of a jam right here. Got their best hitter at the plate, 2-0. Man on second base, only 1 out.
Durbin got to second his last time up with 2 out. That's where he stayed. Baylor hasn't gotten a runner to third base yet in the ballgame. One down, top of the sixth. Murphy ahead in the count, 2-0. Little breaking pitch, stays high, and he's now ahead on the count, 3-0. The road to Omaha, going through Baton Rouge, Alex Box Stadium. Bob Stevens and Ben McDonald witnessing a dandy pitch into him. These are teams that led their conferences in hitting and in runs scored, but it has been nothing but goose eggs so far. The 3-0 to Murphy. He waves at a pitch outside the strike zone and fouls it off. And Murphy probably glad he hit the foul ball. I don't think he meant to swing it.
I'm surprised he swung at that 3-0. I really am. This might be a situation where LSU and Bumstead may be pitching around Murphy, their best hitter. We got an open base over there on first base. And he's very anxious at the plate right now. I'm surprised a little bit he swung 3-0, especially the changeup. That wasn't even a fastball. It was a changeup kind of high in the zone.
Murphy has had hits in 58 of Baylor's 65 games this season and has reached base in 63 of the 65. Hadn't done it yet tonight. Bumstead in his first real trouble of the ball game. Runner at second and one out. The 3-4-5 hitters await after Murphy. Takes low, ball 4. So David Murphy, who walked 40 times during the season, is the first walk of Bumstead in this game.
And we know Bumstead doesn't walk many guys. I really think they were pitching around him. They got the count, you know, against them right there, really in the hitter's favor. They want to give a base hit to the best hitter on the team right there. Not a bad idea to put a base on, put your double play in order right here. One good pitch, one good changeup, get your double play out of the inning.
Bumstead would much rather have Murphy at first base than second base, chasing a run home with a double down the line. And he's got a chance for a double play here with the opposing catcher, Josh Ford, coming to the plate. Ford doubled and hit a pop up to short, and his 2 trips. Base hit to left field. Durbin's rounding third. Here's the throw home from Sproul. It's cut off, and the Baylor Bears have broken through and lead LSU 1-0. The RBI single by Josh Ford.
First pitch swinging. Looks like a slider. He hung up to the plate a little bit. Wasn't a bad pitch, but he did just enough to get it right through the hole.
Ford's 62nd RBI. That's run number 91 for Chad Durbin this season. And Baylor leads it 1-0. The pretty happy bunch of Bears over in the first base dugout. And there's Josh Ford, the man who delivered. He also delivered the game-winning bloop single in the 8th inning to get him the regional title win over Southern Miss. Matt Liazza going to the pitcher's mound to have a little chat with Nate Bumstead.
Yeah, they just want to calm him down a little bit right here. Slow down. Tell him, you know, just stay within himself out there. He's still got the double play in order right here. He's just one pitch away from getting out of this inning, but don't make a mistake. These first 4 guys in the Baylor lineup can hit the ball out of the ballpark. You don't want to give up a big inning right here.
There's Brady Wiederhold, the first-year pitching coach of the Baylor Bears. First year, he's been with Smoke before, though, at Louisiana Monroe. He had Division II pitching staffs at his alma mater, Kennesaw State, lead the country in ERA for Division II on 2 different occasions. Smoke Laval trying to stay hidden behind his Tigers.
Brady actually calls all the pitches for the Tigers. He's in one of the dugout calling all the pitches for Bumstead to throw.
Now Michael Griffin looking down for signs from third base. Griffin, the leading RBI man for the Bears this season, has got runners at first and second, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, or top of the 6th. Griffin's popped up twice in his appearances. Bounces that one to short. Hill to Gill, taken out at second base, and a good job of making the takeout. Are they going to call them both out? Yes, they're going to rule interference on Josh Ford at second base. That he either came up too soon or basically did not give Blake Gill the chance to throw it to first base. So a double play called on the interference. Baylor gets a run, but that's all. Tigers coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Baylor gets 1, but that's it because of this call at second base. The bouncer by Michael Griffin. Ben, what do you think? Is that slide too late?
That's what I think he called right there. There's a real aggressive slide.
The NCAA rule book describes the play that the runner must slide directly into a base, may not roll, pop up, or slash at the defender. Runner may not slide past the base and make contact with or alter the play of a fielder, or you can call it interference. Here come the Tigers. Aaron Hill, a first pitch single to lead off the bottom of the sixth. And the 8,000 here at Alex Box have awakened.
That was a good four-seam fastball right there. Just a nice pitch, but Hill was definitely waiting on it, looking for a fastball, and hit it real hard right at the middle of the plate right there. Right at the box.
So Aaron Hill has his first hit of the ball game. Blake Gill coming to the plate. The hits are even at 4. Baylor on top 1-0. Stephen White's first pitch, a breaking ball, catches the outside corner against Gill. Gill has doubled and singled in his 2 trips.
He looks real good at the plate tonight. He's staying back, seeing the ball real good, you can tell.
Now 12 for 27 in the postseason. He's been hitting nearly 400 since the 1st of May.
That's what you call hot.
There's a pitch low and away. Stephen White, he's just looking like he's okay. Here's the challenge. Another leadoff man on. I'll find a way.
He has been tough tonight. We've seen him do it time and time again so far tonight. When he's gotten a little bit of trouble, he's been able to reach back and make some big pitches up to 94 miles an hour with the fastball. Real nasty curveball right there. He's just been real consistent. In 4 of the 6 innings, LSU has gotten a leadoff man on. High fly ball by Gill. The center fielder Durbin has the play, and there's one away. So Stephen White has had the answer anytime LSU has gotten one of those leadoff men on. Now he'll face Clay Harris. Harris came up after the leadoff hits by Gill in the 2nd and the 4th. Grounded out to 2nd. And we hadn't seen him throw many of them, but that was a straight changeup that we talked about earlier. Threw a real nice changeup right there. The LSU Tigers hadn't seen many of those tonight from him. They got a good pop-up out there to center field.
Well, his curveball seems to be working well enough that he can hang on to that change up and save it for special opportunities.
His curveball is definitely his 2nd best pitch tonight, and of course he's throwing the changeup a little bit too, but you'll probably see him throw the changeup more to left-handers than anybody like he did right there.
Harris, a threat to knock one out, 13 of them on the season, also a threat to hit into a double play, and that time White lunked him in the elbow.
Lunked him in the elbow with a breaking ball right there. Just kind of slipped out of his hand a little bit, got away from him.
Goes under the category of a big oops by Stephen White.
That's a big oop. That's a breaking ball.
Oh.
Right in the funny bone, looks like.
Stephen White hit a school record 18 batters during the regular season. That was number 19, and Steve Smith has seen enough. For now, he's going to come out and have a chat with his big right-hander. Nobody is up yet in the Baylor bullpen. Ivan Nakarada will come to the plate for LSU. Steve Smith, little pep talk. Also trying to decide whether to put a wheel play on, if there's a bunt here, what kind of defense to set up.
I think that wasn't just for White. That was for the whole team right there, because you never know what the Tigers might do right here. But although it is 1 out, I'd be surprised if they try to bunt this as a drag bunt right here.
Nakarada almost don't want to take the bat out of his hands, as hot as he's been lately. Although he has popped to the catcher and struck out in his 2 trips tonight.
Stephen White has had his number tonight, made him look bad a couple of times.
Nakarada, a 350 hitter nearly here at the box. First pitch strike on the outside corner.
Good hard fastball right there on the outside corner.
Nakarada hit .533 in the regionals that LSU swept here at the box. Hit .417 in the SEC tournament. Fouls that one back. And now he's in an 0-2 hole.
He's made 2 really good pitches. One fastball on the outside corner. That was a backdoor breaking ball. It would have just caught the outside corner. Did a nice job fouling it off. But that's 2 really good pitches. It's where he needs to be. 0-2 ahead in the count. Now he can go ahead and get a strikeout, which he's done really a good job doing tonight.
The bigger the trouble, the tougher Stephen White has seemed to be in this game. The 0-2, way outside the hill. Catcher Josh Ford. Stand up, do a little extra work on a hot humid night here in Louisiana. The 1-2 high and away and fouled off by Nakarada. Nakarada grew up in Quebec. Came to Florida to play junior college baseball, and that's where he caught up for all those missed games. As a youngster because of the cold weather up there.
Yeah, they couldn't play a whole lot of baseball up there. I'm sure we were talking to them a little bit yesterday. Only a couple of month window, I guess, to play a few games of baseball during the summer, especially in high school.
The 1-2 pitch bounced to short. The play to second for one, and that's all they'll get. Nakarada getting the runner over to third. At third, Aaron Hill with now 2 out.
You'll see him make a good pitch right there. Good hard fastball. Inside out swing. Actually, the batter just didn't hit it hard enough to turn a double play. A couple of hopper out there to him. They got one. First and third, now 2 out.
Webb tossing it to Kyle Reynolds to get the out. There's Nakarada at first base. Aaron Hill over at third, and this is Ryan Patterson. Patterson popped up to third and hit a bullet to left field that Kevin Seveny ran down in the corner. First and third, 2 out. Second time in the game LSU's gotten a runner as far as third. Getting the plate one here. Frustration maybe will start to set in for LSU if they don't make something go here. Yeah, Tiger fans will remember last year in the Super Regionals, this team went to Houston to play Rice and didn't score a run.
Shut out twice.
2 games and home. So Smoke Laval's crew working on a long scoreless drought in Super Regional play. Fouled off again.
You're seeing White do it again. You know, he's in a little bit of trouble. Got a man on third base, and the fastball goes from 88 up to 92 right there. He's been able to reach back consistently and get a little extra when he needs it.
Ryan Patterson, a .357 hitter during the regular season. Stephen White, maybe 1 strike away. Getting out of a little hot water. Fouled off again. Patterson hanging in there. He strikes out just 15% of the time, so controls the bat pretty well.
Yeah, these LSU Tigers do a good job of not striking out, but putting the ball in play.
We saw Hill at third. Nakarada over at first. White looking in for a sign from Josh Ford, who was looking in for the sign. The Baylor dugout. 1-2 pitch, line to right field. It's fair. It's in the corner. 1 run is in. Nakarada will round third and be stopped there on the 2-out double by Ryan Patterson. And we're all tied up at 1.
Nice piece of hitting right there.
On an 0-2 pitch.
Got it up and away. Didn't get it quite enough outside. Did a nice job of hitting it down the right field line for a double right there. Scored the run.
Ryan Patterson, a .409 hitter this year with runners in scoring position. There is Aaron Hill scoring, and LSU finally breaks the long Super Regional drought that had reached 23 2/3 innings. Patterson's 18th double of the season. Again, his 48th RBI. And now John Zarang comes to the plate with a chance to put the Tigers on top.
Murphy did a nice job of getting that ball off the wall, getting it in to keep that second run from scoring right there. That was big.
Nakarada wanted to round third and score, but was wisely held up. Zarang, 1-0 pitch, breaking ball strike. You gotta love the fact that both of these pitchers are not afraid to go to off-speed stuff behind in the count.
They're not going to give in this late in the ball game. Now's the point of the game where you can lose the game right now. So these guys are going to pitch their best stuff. That's a 1-0 breaking ball right there.
Zarang walked and flied to left in his 2 at-bats. Little check swing foul.
Check swing, got the ball count 1 and 2 in his favor again, like he had it last time. You know, now he needs to just get that killer pitch, the finish pitch right there, and get himself out of this inning.
Zarang, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Liuza, the catcher, is up next. White has a place to put Zarang, but he'd like to punch him out. time called by the home plate umpire. Joe Burleson. Stepping back in is Zarang. Stephen White, one tired, tall Texan, needs another strike to get out of trouble, and happens fouled back.
Maybe getting a little bit tired. I'm starting to see him miss a little bit more with his location than he has in the past. Still got plenty on that fastball, just needs to locate it a little bit.
I mentioned White, a 4th-round draft pick. New York Yankees. Should be pitching in pinstripes in a couple of weeks. Wow. Just inside, 2-2. 92 pitches by White. He has thrown at least 95 in 17 of his 18 previous starts, and at least 109 in 6 of his last 7.
He's a horse. He's a workhorse out there.
He doesn't mind going deep in counts and deep into ball games. Pitches high and in, and almost undressed Zarang.
That was a breaking ball. As we've seen him hit one batter earlier in the inning. Now that was kind of got away from him. Look out.
The count is full. 8,000 on their feet. Fouled away. Again, Zarang worked White for a walk to lead off the 3rd inning, then led off the 5th with a fly ball to the left. Tiger faithful making some noise. Nakarada at 3rd, or Nakarada at 2nd rather, and the ground ball is second base. Reynolds with the toss across, and Baylor gets out of trouble, but the LSU Tigers get the tying run in the bottom of the 6th. Mark Sacamano to lead things off for the Baylor Bears as we go to the top of the 7th, tied at 1. Tied at 1, each team getting a run in the 6th inning. We're into the final 3 frames, and they're going wild here in Baton Rouge. Tomorrow, join us as ESPN2 continues the road to Omaha. Game 2 between these Tigers and Bears, and Game 2 between the Tar Heels of North Carolina and the Gamecocks of South Carolina. 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. Check your local listings for the game in your area, and for more, log on to ESPN.com. Nate Bumstead working in the 7th. Between innings, Billy Sadler got up and made a few tosses down in the LSU bullpen, but then came and sat down. As Smoke Laval is going to have a little more confidence in Bumstead for now anyway. Sacamano.
He got a little bit of a rest, a long inning right there for White. Got a little bit of rest, gave up 1 run in the top of the last inning, but he's been their horse all year long. He's gone deep in games all year long, been very consistent. He's their best.
Sacamano has struck out in both of his appearances against Bumstead, who has 5 strikeouts in the game. He has not been able to time that off-speed pitch. Remember, the last time up it was 3 off-speed pitches and go sit down.
See you later. That's right. He hadn't made the adjustment yet. There's no reason for Bumstead to do anything other than that. This is bad too until he starts to make the adjustment. Got ahead of him again, 1-2 in the count.
Sacamano, 6'2", 200 pounds. Believe it or not, he was Baylor's shortstop a couple of seasons ago. How many times have you ever heard of a shortstop converting into a first baseman?
Not very often.
The Orioles might have entertained the thought with a fellow named Ripken a couple of times, but he would have none of that.
None of that is right.
2-2 to Sacamano, and he fouls it back.
And the pitching staff over there in Baltimore didn't want anybody but Ripken at shortstop. I can tell you that. If it was hit anywhere around him, he was going to catch it and throw you out.
Sacamano, the Big 12 comeback player of the year. Redshirted last season, his regular senior season. He's a 5th-year senior. Takes strike 3 call. Sacamano sits down for the 3rd straight time. He is half of Bumstead's 6 strikeouts in the game.
This was actually a slider right here. Got him a changeup last time. Nice slider right there on the inside part of the plate.
But again, took a little bit off. Sacamano only strikes out 18% of the time, but he has had K fever tonight.
377 hitter, strike out 3 times. That's very, very rare.
First pitch to Zach Dillon. It's outside ball one. Dillon is flied out to center and grounded out to second in his 2 previous trips. And there it is, catching the outside corner again. 1-1. Bumstead only thrown 85 pitches through 6 1/3. That's with all those strikeouts.
Yeah. Hadn't wasted a whole lot of pitches. You know, he's got ahead in the count. Hadn't thrown those balls 2 foot high or way outside. He's made those marginal pitches to make the hitter really make up their mind where they're going to swing or not.
He only has 1 walk. That was an almost intentional walk to David Murphy.
Right.
But now he's in a 3-1 hole to Dillon. The bottom of the order, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Trey Webb, Kyle Reynolds, Kevin Seveny are on deck.
Yeah, these are the guys you don't want to fall behind. These are the guys you need to pitch to right here. Late back part of the lineup down there.
Dillon lashed at that one and fouled it off. Dillon, an academic All Big 12 first teamer. Redshirt freshman out of Urbandale, Iowa, where he led Dowling High to a 4A state championship in '99. Bounces this one to second base. And for the second time in the game, he'll be thrown out by the second baseman, Blake Gibb.
Keep saying it. Bumstead with the changeup. You know, 3-2 changeup. He can throw it in any count. We talked about it at the beginning. There it is again. 3-2 down in the zone, 80 miles an hour. Got the hitter a little bit out in front. Got a nice ground ball at second baseman.
Really made the hitter look like he was throwing that as hard as he could.
That's right. I mean, that's the whole secret to a changeup, is being able to throw it with the same action, the same arm speed as your fastball, and it really gets the hitter off balance.
Trey Webb, who has struck out and bounced out to third in his 2 trips to the plate. Swings and misses, strike 1. Webb, we talked about his defensive skills. He says his most prized possession is his glove, and it's not the 2 he's got on his hands right there. It's the one he takes out to shortstop to anchor this Baylor defense. Now his average just a tick under 280. Just missed outside. Homestead thought he had that one.
That's a good pitch, good pitcher's pitch right there. Umpire didn't see it that way, though.
Webb trying to keep a 9-game hitting streak going on. The 2-1. Hit high in the air to center field, or right field rather, and moving over to make the catch, John Zarang. The Tigers get him out 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 7th. It'll be Matt Liuzza, the catcher, leading off when the LSU Tigers come to the plate in the stretch half. Baylor at LSU, 1-1 into the bottom of the 7th. Little take me out to the ball game from the crowd here. Here's how it got there. Scoreless through 5, but in the top of the 6th. A 1-out single by Durbin. Walk to David Murphy, and then Josh Ward's base hit to left field. Brought Durbin home. Give Baylor a 1-0 lead. Then in the bottom of the 6th, the leadoff single by Aaron Hill. After a hit batter, ground ball. This shot by Ryan Patterson to right field. The double bringing home Hill, tying the game at 1. A lot of media here and 8,000 fans joining you from Alex Box Stadium. Sold out again. And they'll be back here at 11:30 local time tomorrow for game 2. That's why all those people brought their Winnebagos. They're just going to stay in them tonight.
They started getting here last night. You know, it's like an LSU football game. They're tailgating out there, having a great time. They'll just stay right here tonight and be ready to go in the morning.
Matt Liuzza at the plate against Stephen White, who is 1-1. White flirting with 100 pitches now. Breaking ball, strike. Still doing that, though.
He'll get this breaking ball over. Seen a few change-up from it. He's got the real live fastball still going for him. But it is getting late in the game. Got a little action down in the bullpen.
Remember, Baylor's closer, Zane Carlson, slammed the index finger of his right hand in a car door. Would like to tell you it was a better story than that. Zane would love to have made up a better story than that.
Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing.
About you should see the other guy.
That's right.
About 6 stitches in his index finger. They hope to have him ready to pitch next week in Omaha.
Coach Steve Smith wishes he could look down the bullpen and see him warming up down there right now. He's been their hottest pitcher in the postseason.
2-2 to Liuzza, who has lined out and singled. Went to second on a balk and bounces one up the middle. Diving to make the play is Webb. The throw, not in time.
Wow, what a play just to get to that ball.
It's ruled a base hit. Why does Trey Webb consider his glove his most prized possession? This is why.
Most shortstops can't even get to that ball. He gets to that ball and almost makes an incredible play. But that's why, like you said, he was a high draft pick. There's not many better defensive players in the country than this kid right here.
So that's 2 hits for Liuzza. And for the 5th time in 7 innings, LSU has the leadoff man aboard. And now they've got the top of the order. Sproul, Holt, and Hill. Sproul grounded out, struck out, flied out, gets the bunt down. They make the play at first. Sacamano making the tag, and Sproul does his job getting the runner over.
Got him over now. Now you got Holt and Hill and Gill coming up.
You got your hottest hitter, your #1 draft choice coming up next. Great job by Sproul to get the bunt down. It is an almost lost art, but not quite.
This late in the game, it's the bottom of the 7th inning, tied 1-1. You got a bunt right here. You got to give yourself up and get them over.
The second time in the game now, Steve Smith has come to the mound. Down in the Baylor bullpen. That's Ryan LaMotta, #6, the right-hander. He is the only one working in the bullpen. They had 2 pitchers up to begin the inning, but LaMotta could be the Game 3 starter as Smith shuffles the deck. We are at Alex Box Stadium, sold out for Game 1 of the best of 3. Winner goes to Omaha, the Super Regional. 5th consecutive year for LSU to make it to the Super Regional, but just the 2nd of those 5 years that they have hosted it. I'm Bob Stevens alongside Ben McDonald, the LSU legend.
We have seen our pitchers do tonight. These kids are throwing great ball games. Coach Smith's not going to take him out right now. This is his game right now. He's got to let him try to get out of this. He's been too good.
You've got these 2 guys fired up. You got these 2 pitchers fired up.
Oh, we talked to them both yesterday, and I saw a lot of confidence in both these guys. These guys have carried their teams all year long. You could just tell we were going to be in for a good ball game tonight.
The red-hot J.C. Holt at the plate swings and fouls it back. You mentioned Holt, who is 0 for 2 with a walk in this game, but is hitting just a tick under 500 now for the postseason. 8 runs scored, 8 RBIs. And this is the 8th postseason game for the Tigers. The off-speed pitch didn't quite get over the plate. White is even at 1-1. J.C. Holt bounces it foul and now is in a 1-2 hole.
There's that changeup we talked about earlier. He doesn't throw it a whole lot. His curveball has definitely been his 2nd best pitch, but to left-handers, he will throw an occasional changeup, and he did right there with a real good pitch. Got strike 2.
Changeup might be the best bet against Holt, who has some great opposite field power. Hit a couple of home runs in the regional. All 5 of his home runs this season have gone the other way, the left field. Will they keep him out ahead of the off speed or throw the fastball and see if he can go the other way with it?
Fastball away right there.
2-2 the count to J.C. Holt. The SEC's Player of the Year, Aaron Hill, who has scored LSU's only run in this game, is on deck. White's 1-1 fastball foul away. Steve Smith kind of out of his hands right now.
It is. I mean, he's got his best guy out there right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
The 2, 3, and 4 hitters up for LSU. Which is high, ball 3. White looked like he overthrew that one just a little bit.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit tired. Legs are probably getting a little bit tired. He's had, obviously a long year. His pitch count is up tonight. It's a very humid night. So he doesn't want to make a mistake right here. He can definitely lose the game right here with a mistake. Strike 3 called.
Stephen White, who, said great call there. He had a couple earlier that just missed on the outside corner that he didn't think was.
Yep, we've seen it all night, making big pitches. That ball ran off the plate right there. That's a tough call for the umpire to see that because he's sitting on the inside corner. The ball goes to the outside corner. That's a great pitch. 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Pitcher's pitch for sure right there.
His 6th strikeout, the 2nd time he's gotten hold. And now with 2 out and the runner at second, Aaron Hill takes the off-speed breaking ball for a strike. Aaron Hill struck out twice, but then singled to lead off the 6th and scored LSU's run. And he grounds one there to first baseman Mark Sacamano, who touches the bag, and Stephen White has walked the high wire once again. 5 times in 7 innings, LSU's gotten the leadoff man on. Only once have they brought him home. Chris Durbin will hit third as Baylor comes up in the top of the 8th. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for Baylor in the top of the 8th here at Alex Box Stadium. We have had a great pitcher's duel, a run on each side. There's Nate Bumstead on 7 innings, allowing just 4 hits, striking out 6 with 1 walk. White, 1 more strikeout, 1 more walk, a couple of more hits, but he has pitched himself out of trouble.
These guys have been better than advertised.
Kyle Reynolds takes a strike on a breaking ball. Reynolds grounded out to short and to first in his 2 previous trips to the plate. Lines that one into right field for a leadoff single. So Reynolds, the first leadoff man in the ball game for Baylor to get on base.
He went down and got that changeup, did a nice job staying back, kept his hands back.
That'll bring the freshman Kevin Seveny to the plate. Reynolds also a freshman. Baylor getting a lot of help from some awfully young kids in their
These guys are going to be strong the next few years to come for sure.
Road here. LSU has also had some great help from some freshmen. Gets the bunt down. Seveny forces Bumstead to make the pickup. Down to second base goes Reynolds.
Nice play by Bumstead. Fielded his position well. Jumped off the mound. Made a good throw there to first base.
So just as LSU did in the bottom of the 7th, leadoff man on, bunt him over. Baylor does the same thing here in the top of the 8th. We'll see if the top of the order, Chris Durbin and David Murphy, can do something about it.
Kind of the same situation White was in last time. Run on second base, facing the meat of the lineup.
Third base coach Hoop Jonigan flashing the signs. Chris Durbin with 2 singles, raising his average up to .338. He singled and stole and scored Baylor's run back in the 6th inning. Still no action in either bullpen. Bumstead and White better than anything that's out there. Fastball strike.
Good pitch. Strike 1. We've seen it from both pitchers most of the night tonight. It's strike 1, strike 2. Getting ahead of these guys.
Durbin, .446 on base percentage coming in. That's just second best on the team to Murphy's .492. That's a nice number, though.
That's 2 great years by the meat of their lineup right there.
Right at the top of the order. Durbin takes all strike 2. Durbin in a hole 0-2. Second in the Big 12 in homers. Tied for 3rd in total bases. Also tied for 3rd in walks. He's in an 0-2 hole against Nate Bumstead. Here in the 8th. Leading run at second base for Baylor. Oh, Bumstead wanted to get him chasing.
Yep. Threw one on the outside corner right there just in case. And it was a fastball. You probably see him come back with his off-speed stuff. I mean, it's been his pitch all year. Been his pitch tonight.
Smoke Laval now out from behind the rest of his Tigers. He wants to see this. Fouled back by Durbin. Count stays at 1-2. There's Smoke. Laid back Southern gentleman if I have ever met him.
That's Smoke. Smoke is very laid back, but he knows the game of baseball is a lot of fun to play for. Just a good guy. But he's definitely a laid back individual.
watches as Nate Bumstead makes the 1-2 delivery. Bounced foul into the LSU dugout. Bumstead, not a real fan of the box. In his mind, it's been a bandbox this year. A 5.28 ERA here at home, just 2.68, half that on the road. His 104th pitch is coming up. He's thrown 70 strikes, all even at one. Blooper into left field for a base hit. Here comes the runner, and he'll score. Reynolds scores on Durbin's RBI single, and Baylor has taken a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 8th. So Reynolds singled to lead it off. 70 bunted him over. Durbin brought him home with his 48th RBI of the season. Baylor's got a little something going here with just one out.
Had Murphy at the plate, nowhere to put him right now. First base was open last time. They kind of intentionally walked him right there. But now, runner on first base, got a pitch to him right here. But you got to be extremely careful with a 420 hitter, that's for sure.
Murphy bounced out twice, got way ahead in the count. Bumstead went ahead and put him on.
Right.
His last time up. The only walk Nate Bumstead has issued in this game. Josh Ford, who has 2 hits, a double and a single, and an RBI, is up next. So Bumstead would like to get Murphy, but nobody's been doing that all season long.
The good thing about it is that Bumstead has actually been better against getting right-handed hitters out this year. Actually, right-handers hit a higher average than left-handed hitters do. So Murphy being left-handed, he's got a better chance of getting him out the way he pitches.
Inside with the off-speed pitch. 1-0 to Murphy.
Very unusual for a right-handed pitcher to actually get left-handed hitters out at a better average than he does a right-handers, but that's what Bumstead has done all year long.
How about this? Bumstead, who allowed 3 solo homers in his regional start against Tulane, has only allowed 1 home run all season to a left-handed hitter.
Lefties hit 241 for the year off of him. Right-handers hit 277. So
this is no ordinary left-handed hitter. One of the reasons why Bumstead is trying to keep Durbin close at first base. Murphy can find a gap. The merry-go-round will be started for the Baylor Bears. Toss over to first, and Clay Harris again trying to keep Durbin close. Durbin with 8 steals. Number 8 came back in the 6th inning. Durbin, a 10th round pick of the Red Sox. So he will be a teammate of David Murphy's not only now, but they head for the minor leagues. Safe at second as Durbin steals his second base of the ball game.
He definitely stole that base off the pitcher. Bumstead with a high leg kick to home plate right there. Got a real good jump over there, and really no chance for the catcher to throw him out.
Let's see it again. Durbin well underway by this point.
That was actually a fastball, so I mean his best pitch to throw on, but it's just he got too good of a jump. Now you got first base open right here again, so I mean I'm sure that's what they're discussing right here.
I'm not sure if they've done Murphy any favors. You know, you almost don't want to take the bat out of your 420 hitter at this point, though you obviously want to get the run to second.
That's right.
Josh Ford, the catcher with 2 hits already, is on deck. Baylor has broken through here on the top of the 8th to take a 2-1 lead. The 1-1 off-speed delivery catches the outside corner, strike 2.
I think if they do pitch to him, that's what you're going to see right there. Pitches right on the outside corner. Try to get him to fish at a bad pitch. Maybe put it in play for a week out. I don't expect him to really go after him at all right here, though.
Murphy, 444 in the postseason, and he struck out just 8% of the time. Down on the count 1-2, and Bumstead trying to keep Durbin close and maybe trying to figure out how long he can keep from throwing a pitch to Murphy.
To Murphy.
Murphy gets his bat on the ball and he'll move the runner over to third, and he'll be safe at first on the error by Blake Gill. They're going to count it an infield single. Infield single. Gets Durbin to third. I mean, Murphy doing a great piece of hitting just to get the bat on the ball.
That's right. And that's what we thought they would do. You're not going to give Murphy anything close to being hit right there. That was a changeup. Really wasn't even a strike.
Really kind of a do or die play for Gill there.
Just kind of flicked at it right there.
Murphy flying down the line. See Durbin at third. There's Murphy at first. Runners at the corners. In the top of the 8th, Baylor with 1 run home, only 1 out, and that was on the sacrifice bunt by 70. And here's Josh Ford, who has 2 hits and an RBI already.
Bumstead really needs to throw one of those pitches down the zone right now. He's thinking about 2 things. Either he's trying to get a punch out, get a strikeout, or he's trying to get a ground ball double play.
Ford has hit into 14 of them, far and away the leader for Baylor this season in bouncing into the double plays.
Really can't afford to give up another run this late in the game.
Sophomore from Robert E. Lee in Baytown bounces it up the middle, through for a single. That'll bring Durbin home. Murphy will stop at second, and Baylor now has a 3-1 lead on the 3rd hit of the night for catcher Josh Ford.
Fastball up in the zone right there. Does a nice job. Hit it right back up the middle.
Was that a tired fastball? Getting the ball up a little bit?
That was up. Typically, that's what happens. When you start getting a little bit tired, all your pitches start coming up in the zone. You haven't seen Nate throw many pitches high in the zone like that tonight. That was definitely a mistake and probably a little bit tired.
Michael Griffin now at the plate. Down in the bullpen, Billy Sadler for the LSU Tigers. Sadler, a 6th round pick of the Giants on Tuesday. The Floridian starting to get loose. Nate Bumstead. Will he get a chance to get out of this jam or not? As the LSU pitching coach, Brad Wiederhold, is out to chat with him. Now he'll head back to the dugout. I said Brad, can't read my own writing. Brady Wiederhold.
Brady. I don't think he's warmed up down there. He just went down there, so Bumstead's going to have to face at least another hitter.
But it shouldn't take him long on a night like tonight.
That's right. Human as it is, especially a short reliever, it's not going to take him long at all.
Sadler 1-1 with a 3.92 ERA and 4 saves. Here's Michael Griffin, a 357 hitter who, as I mentioned, 0 for 3 tonight, including bouncing into a interference double play his last time up that ended Baylor's 6th inning rally and stopped it at 1 run. Wasn't really Griffin's fault. He hit the bouncer, and Ford went in high at second base, according to the umpires. They ruled it an interference double play.
College baseball is about safety, you know.
Yep.
I mean,
that's good call in that sense. At the professional level, they'll get away with that play for sure.
That's right. That's what it's all about there.
Take them out. 1-1 to Griffin. Griffin leading Baylor in RBIs this season with 76, slugging percentage of .618. Wow. He didn't look that big. A 19-year-old sophomore. Buy stock in this guy. Very quick hands. Was recruited by Baylor coach Mitch Thompson, who actually came to look at Trey Taylor, one of Baylor's relief pitchers, when he was in high school. And Griffin had a couple of great at-bats against Taylor, and he ended up signing them both.
This kid's definitely going to be a superstar. You can tell he's got some pop in his bat. Pitch for a high average.
Takes it inside. Almost hit him, but not quite. And it's now 3-1. Michael Griffin, 114 pitches for Nate Bumstead. He appears to be on fumes.
He is. This is his last batter. If he doesn't get an out right here, I'm sure Smoke will be taking him out of the game right here. He's been missing up in the zone, almost hit this guy. He's running on fumes, right.
Bumstead has gone at least 7 innings in all 9 of his wins, an 11-2 season this year, and all 9 of his conference wins he went at least 7. But here in the 8th, Griffin hits the fly ball into right center field. Holt will make the catch. Tagging is Murphy, and he will go to third. So the long fly ball from Griffin gets Murphy over. You see Murphy over there at third talking to Hoot Jonigan. Holt circled him, but was moving away from the play, and that made it easy for Griffin to tag up and move to third. So with 2 outs, Mark Sacamano, who has had a brutal evening against Bumstead, striking out all 3 times. Once looking, twice swinging. So Bumstead's going to get one more chance to get him out and finish the inning. Hanging curveball, and he ripped it down the left field line. In comes Murphy. Around to third comes Ford on the double by Mark Sacamano on the first pitch. He had seen enough breaking balls throughout this ball game and off-speed pitches. He was waiting for that one and doubled it into the left field corner.
There it was, hanging breaking ball. He'd seen a lot of changeups and breaking balls, but like we said, Bumstead is definitely tired, leaving everything up in the zone. Now, before, early in the game, he was down knee high with the breaking ball, changeup.
It's now 4-1 Bears as you see Murphy come home. Durbin had preceded him. Reynolds had preceded him here in a big 8th inning for Baylor.
Baylor's just too good. You leave those balls consistently up in the zone like that, they're going to make you pay for it. They have tonight.
Zach Dillon, the DH, coming to the plate, and again, it is because of Bumstead's success against left-handed hitters that they're going to leave him in to try to get Durbin. Billy Sadler is throwing with a purpose in the LSU bullpen. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Getting loose in the Baylor pen as well.
Yeah, Stephen White has had a long inning, and that's not good this late in the ballgame, throwing a lot of pitches. Might be into him, too.
He had a chance to catch his breath, that's for sure. Off-speed breaking pitch over for a strike. 1-1 to Zach Dillon. Lined out to center and has bounced to second a couple of times. 0 for 3 and now 1 for his last 8. He sees his average drop to below 250. Bumstead just misses low. 3-1 to Dillon. Trey Webb, the shortstop, whom we saw make a great defensive play in the last inning, coming up next. Runners at second and third for Baylor, 2 down. And the pitch is grounded to first. Clay Harris tosses it to Bumstead in time for the out. So Nate Bumstead gets out of the 8th inning, but not until the Baylor Bears break a 1-1 tie with 3. We'll see if they go to their bullpen in the bottom of the 8th. Blake Gill up to lead it off. The Baylor Bears leading the LSU Tigers 4-1 into the bottom of the 8th. There's Skip Bertram, the athletic director now at LSU, after a wonderfully successful career as the skipper of the Tigers. I mentioned the 5 national championships, the 11 trips to Omaha in 18 years. He tutored a lot of guys who have made an impact not only in the coaching world but the major league world as well, and including my sidekick Ben McDonald.
Folks love him here in Baton Rouge. He's done a great job for the program, and I tell you what, he's got the university headed in the right direction. The football program, basketball program's back on the map, and you know baseball's always been there here lately. It's he's got it all turned around, heading in the right direction.
Blake Gill to lead it off, and Stephen White is still out there.
He's still out there, still chunking, and Coach Smith's probably going to be a little more lenient with him. You know, if he had Zane Carlson down there, he'd probably go get him. You know, soon just a hint of trouble, he'd go get him, but less likely to go get him because they don't have any closers down there that they've been using lately.
With a 3-run lead for the first time all night, White's got a little margin for error.
That's right.
Gill fouls it down the left field line and into the seats. There down in the bullpen, you see 2 freshmen. That's what Steve Smith has to look at. 2 freshmen. They are freshman All-Americans. They were both named to the All-American team within the last 24 hours. Strike 3 called on Holt, or Gill rather. That is the 8th strikeout for Stephen White.
Stephen White hadn't lost much. Got ahead in the count again. There it is. Good hard 4-seam fastball in the outside corner, 91 miles an hour here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He's a horse.
That's his 8th in 7 1/3. He averages a strikeout an inning. He has been on that in this one. Clay Harris, big first baseman, fouls back. And again, a first pitch strike.
That's the key. I mean, that is the key at any level, is getting strike 1. If they can do that, if you're constantly pitching ahead in the count, you can expand the zone, make the hitters hit your pitch, and that's exactly what he's been able to do tonight.
Harris grounded out, flied out, and was then hit by a pitch. And he rips that one to left field and deep, but back to get it is 70. There's room. And there's now 2 out.
That's twice that Harris has just got the ball just a little bit on his hands a little bit. I mean, he's just an inch away from hitting 2 home runs tonight, but that's what baseball, you know, game of inches, you know, and he's just got it just a little bit inside. He's just not quite aggressive enough to get his hands through and get the ball out there.
And if you can get him to miss by that much,
that's all it takes.
You can have a career like Ben McDonald. Ivan Nakarada at the plate, 0 for 3. He has not seen very many 0-fers lately.
Oh, White smells it now. You can see it.
He had a 19-game hitting streak in February and March. Started the season at second, moved to third when Hill had to move to shortstop for the injured Matt Horwath. Nakarada, even in the count at 1-1. Low ball 2.
There it was. There was a straight change he hadn't thrown, I think, but about 8 or 10 of them tonight, but they've been very effective.
Now he has shown it to Nakarada. Does he come back with it again in this sequence someplace? Fastball fouled away, and it's 2-2.
I mean, right there, he had a 2-1 count. And he threw the fastball. Nakarada still behind it. That's not necessarily a situation where you want to throw a changeup because you speed the hitter's bat up. Then you see, you might want to keep going with the fastball. Changeup may run it right into his bat.
The fastball there is bounced down the third base line.
He's just late on it. He's not getting around on it. You know, if he was to take a little bit off and throw something, it might be right in Nakarada's wheelhouse there.
Nice grab by Jody Autry, the third base coach. Nakarada bounces it to third, making the play as Griffin. The toss across is away and not caught by Sacamano, who had to come off the bag. They're going to rule that as an error on Griffin. Griffin played some third last year, but had not played a lot of third this year. Started the season there, went out to left field, and has just come back to third, and that was just a high throw that Sacamano could not make the play on. And again, Sacamano in his first year as a first baseman.
Yeah, it looks like he got his feet a little mixed up right there. It was off the bag a little bit, tried to get back and catch the ball at the same time, and it cost him.
So the 101st error of the season by the Baylor Bears. We'll see if it costs them. As the first pitch to Ryan Patterson is fouled back. We are at Alex Box Stadium, the campus of Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge. Bob Stevens, Ben McDonald, bringing you the first of a 3-game set. The winner of 2 out of 3 goes on to Omaha in the 2003 College World Series next Friday for the winner of Cal State Fullerton and Arizona State. High pop, the second baseman dropped the ball. Kyle Reynolds may have lost it in the lights and just dropped the ball. And all the way around to third base is Nakarada. So the holes in Baylor's gloves that Steve Smith may have feared have come back to bite him in the 8th.
That wind is blowing out pretty good, especially way up there like it is. And he just kind of misjudged it. He didn't lose that ball in the lights. He just misjudged it. Got behind him right there. And that's really been the thorn in the side of the Baylor Bears this year. They've got a great offense, led the conference, like you said earlier, and batting average and scoring runs, average 8 runs a game. But their defense, they have made a lot of errors this year. That's why they've lost a lot of games and series this year.
So Kyle Reynolds tries to shake that off as the tying run comes to the plate. And John Zarang.
It's too bad for Stephen White. You know, he's pitched a great game. He should be in the dugout right now. 2 pitches ago, he should have been in the dugout, you know, with the first batter.
If he hangs one to Zarang, he's in big trouble. Zarang will walk on a fly ball. He swings big time and doesn't get that one.
But we've seen it all night. As soon as he's got himself in a little bit of trouble, he has been able to reach back, find a way to make some good pitches and get out of jams.
Zarang with 12 homers this season, none any bigger than his walk-off homer to win the regionals against North Carolina Wilmington last Sunday. Fastball strike. Stephen White ahead in the count, 0-2. Zarang walked in the third, flew out to left in the 5th, and then bounced to second in the 6th. With a couple of men on. Zarang a big out in that inning for Stephen White. That one out of the way, 1-2. In the 6th, after Ryan Patterson had doubled home the tying run. Runners at second and third with 2 out. And Zerang bounced one to Kyle Reynolds, who would love to get one bounced to him again to atone for that error. White's now worked the count to 2-2, 129 pitches.
That's a lot of pitches this late in the year, and on a night like it is tonight right now, but he's still throwing the ball hard.
2-1, strikes to balls. Misses inside with the breaking pitch. He tried to hook that one around the corner of the plate, and now it goes to 3-2 to Zerang. Liuza on deck, and all he's done is singled twice in 3 trips. 8,000 on their feet at Alex Box. The 3-2 strike, 3 ball. Wow.
That's a 3-2 breaking ball. Great pitch on the inside corner. Throws him at the plate.
Stephen White with his 9th strikeout of the game. LSU leaves runners at first and third. Bears lead it 4-1 to the 9th. Back at Alex Box Stadium, Stephen White. Oh, yeah, put a little towel around the arm. He doesn't need any ice right now. Keep that thing dry. Maybe head out into the 9th inning. Tigers have made a pitching change. Nate Bumstead is out. Billy Sadler is in. Sadler's got a live arm. You see the numbers there. 54 strikeouts in 41 1/3 innings. As the raindrops begin to fall here in.
Started him off with a fastball there. Another fastball in the outside corner. Got ahead of him, then wasted one out there. High in his zone, trying to get him to chase one. Breaking ball, 2-2. Throw it 3-2-2. You can throw it 3-2, and he did it. Threw it a great curve ball right there. 3-2, first and third.
There was about a millimeter's difference between the 2-2 pitch and the 3-2 pitch, but the 3-2 pitch got him looking.
That's
Trey
what they
Webb.
say.
Trey Webb coming to plate against Sadler.
You got to be able to throw it. If you can throw it 2-2, you can certainly throw it 3-2, and he did it. A big situation right there. They would get a 3-2 breaking ball over.
So Sadler, good enough to be drafted in the 6th round by the Giants on Tuesday. Facing Trey Webb, who hits one into right field and bounces one hop off the wall. Chasing it is Zerang, and into second base with a double is Trey Webb.
First pitch swinging right there.
You figure the new pitcher wants to come in and establish the strike zone right off the bat. Not a bad time to be swinging.
Wants to get strike one right there. Webb went up there, had a plan in his mind when he got to the plate. Got a fastball. Did a nice job hitting it to right field for base hit. Hit it hard too.
That is 22 doubles on the season for Trey Webb. He is second among Baylor Bears. He stands out at second base. Kyle Reynolds steps in at the plate. Out on the hill, Billy Sadler. You know, they say you're only as good as your last outing. Billy hopes to be a whole lot better than that. His last outing, he gave up 5 earned runs in an inning and 2/3 in a loss to Alabama. In his last appearance, that fluffed up the ERA a little bit.
Yeah. He's had a real good year. That did elevate the ERA a little bit.
Well, and he's been particularly tough here at Alex Box. An ERA of 2.18. It's over 5.5 on the road.
You would think Baylor's going to be bunting right here, sacrifice, and an insurance run right here would be nice for him.
Reynolds, who singled to right his last time up, scored the tie-breaking run. Yeah, LSU thinks he's going to lay it down. Tigers with a little more action in their bullpen. Greg Smith, one of only a couple of left-handers that they have to call on. Smith, a freshman, out there in the pen. No action in the Baylor bullpen. They may let White try to finish this off. As Reynolds fouls the bunt back.
Be big if Sadler could hold the runner at second base, get a strikeout right here. He's known for his strikeout, gets a lot of strikeouts this year. He needs to keep that runner off of third base with just one out.
A few scattered raindrops we saw last inning have just about gone away. You'll see him on the helmet of the hitter Kyle Reynolds. We are in the top of the 9th. Baylor trying to add to a 4-1 lead. Tigers will bring up the top of the order. In the ninth, pitch gets away from Liuzza, and down to third base is Trey Webb.
That's what Sadler didn't want to do right there, throw a wild pitch.
Call it a wild pitch. All right. Sadler. Yeah. That's that 58-foot fastball.
Smoke's going to bring the infield in here. You got to bring them in. You're down 3 runs. Top of the ninth inning, you can't give up any more runs. You're going to bring the infield and hope you get a ground ball right to somebody or a strikeout.
1-2 to Reynolds. Breaking ball. Got him looking.
Great pitch. Did his job right there. Got the punch out. Needs to do it again. Got to have 2 of them or a ground ball right to somebody in the infield right here. But they got to stop this run from scoring. They got to cut it off.
Kevin Seveny struck out his first 2 times up, and then a key bunt that got things going. Moved Reynolds over to second back in the 8th inning when Baylor broke it open with 3. And Seveny gets hit by the pitch. Billy Sadler, who had 11 of them during the season to lead the pitching staff in that dubious distinction, has now hit his 12th.
That's just the first pitch breaking ball right there. They got away from it, left it out there.
Breaking ball that didn't break. Ouch. Seveny will go to first. So now runners at first and third with 1 out. Smoke Laval. Yeah, it looks real quiet on the outside. A little churning going on down in.
He backed his middle infielders up. They're going to try to turn 2 up the middle right here. Maybe ground ball to third base or first base. It might come home, but it just depends if it's hit hard enough to turn a double play or not.
Durbin has singled his last 3 times up after flying out in the first. He has broken out of a big slump. He was 6 for 39 in the postseason until those 3 straight hits. Single in the 3rd, single in the 6th and scored, single in the 8th and scored, stole bases both those last 2 times as well. He is the igniter for this Baylor offense. And right in the middle of a 4-1 lead as we play here in the top of the 9th. Again, it's a best out of 3. LSU may find themselves down, but far from out with 2 more here at Alex Box. Ground ball to third. They're going to try the long way around the horn. They're going to come to the plate instead, and they've got him in a rundown. Great play by the catcher, Liuzza, to tag out Trey Webb at third base. Baylor runs themselves into an inning-ending double play. LSU's swings in the 9th. Liuzza, who made the tag, will be up first. LSU is going to get 3 in the bottom of the 9th. They might have needed more, except for this play when Trey Webb did the cardinal sin. He listened to me. He thought it was going to be the 5-4-3 double play. Instead, it's the 5-4-2. Great job by Liuzza to show the ball to the third baseman all the way down and then make the tag of Trey Webb.
Gill did a real nice job realizing he wasn't going to be able to get the runner at first. He was too fast. Saw the runner break from third to come home, threw the ball home to cut the run off. Big out for LSU right there. Gives them a chance down 3 runs going to the bottom of the 9th.
Tigers got the caps turned around. Matt Liuzza, who made the tag, is up to lead it off in the 9th, and Stephen White is out there for 1 more.
Tigers looking for a little of that LSU magic they've enjoyed over the years.
What'd Smith say? That magic wand that.
That's right. There it is. Good start.
That Skip Bertman has had for so many years. Base hit by Liuzza, his 3rd of the game. How about a job, these 2 catchers? All this heat, just trying to catch this game, and they each have 3 hits.
They've done a nice job. And the magic is here. That's the funny thing about it is these guys have seen it over the years with the Warren Morris home run back in the World Series. They just believe that they can come out and they can do something special. So these guys are never going to give up.
Bruce Sproul 0 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt his last time up. He's grounded to short, struck out, flew out, and got a bunt down. So they've gotten him out about every way possible so far. He is up, key hitter here in the 9th. It's ball strike. 90 miles an hour, fast enough. Sproul wanted to measure the pitch.
Still throwing 90 miles an hour in the 9th inning.
With his pitch count up over 130. Strike 2. As the third base umpire, Jim Garman, said yes. Sproul did go around. Let's see if he did or not. Did the back go through the zone? I think it might have. Fouls that one out. And it stays 0-2. Sproul from the Volunteer State. Volunteer a base hit here. He's been fighting a cold spell, though.
Yeah, they need a base hit big way right here.
7 for his last 34 here in the postseason.
He'd like to get on anyway.
Yep. Takes the ball outside there, 1-2. 83 miles an hour with the off-speed pitch. White mad at himself with that one. Breaking pitch, just misses.
Did a nice job laying off that. 2 strikes.
2-2 the count. Steve Smith, who said, yep, Skip's had that magic wand here for a lot of years. Has he got it here? Yep, Sproul is hit by the 2-2 pitch. He was down in the count 0-2. And White lost him. His second hit batter of the game, his 20th of the season. And now you see Holt, Hill, and Gill, the heart of the order up for LSU. The Tigers are not going to go quietly.
They're not going to go away. That's all they could ask for, to get the meat of their lineup up here in the 9th inning.
Steve Smith coming to the mound, motioning to the home plate umpire. He says, I got one more, don't I? And yep, crosses the foul line. That's his 3rd trip to the mound in the game. He will try to settle Stephen White down and also figure out how to get 2 here. And nope, he's come with the bar of soap as well. Steve Smith waving to the bullpen. He's calling for the right-hander. They got 2 of them down there. Abe Woody and Ryan LaMotta, a couple of freshmen. It's going to be LaMotta who gets the call. Ryan LaMotta, who might have been the Game 3 starter, brought in to try to save Game 1 for the Baylor Bears. 4-1. We're back in a moment.
Million fishermen in the U.S. Hundreds are professionals. 61 qualify. But only one can be the best. Watch and learn from the best as Fishing's Elite head to New Orleans for their shot at the most prestigious title in bass fishing. The 2003 Citgo Bassmaster Classic, presented by Busch, starts Friday, August 1st at 7 on ESPN2 and continues Saturday and Sunday at 6 on ESPN.
ESPN introduces a better way to learn golf. The ESPN Golf Schools, led by Hall of Fame pro Jim Flick.
Nice shot.
It's built on a simple idea.
Okay, now circle the club slowly.
The better you play, the more fun you'll have on the golf course.
We'll make you understand the game and have more fun playing golf.
Register now, and a $500 tailor-made driver is yours free. So call 1-800-642-5528 or log on to ESPNGolfSchools.com. Finally, a golf school for sports fans.
Stephen White, 9 strikeouts, just 2 walks. He also hit a couple of batters and scattered 7 hits in 8+ innings. Good night's work.
Real good night. Threw 140-something pitches.
141 is the total.
That's a great night. 8 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. He was better than advertised.
Remember, though, there are 2 runners on base belong to White. Ryan LaMotta will try to finish this thing off. Made the all-regional tournament team, allowing just 2 runs and 6 hits in 8 1/3. He started the clinching game against Southern Miss last weekend. And now the freshman from Sugar Land, Clements High, who has dreams of going to law school, will try to render the final verdict on this game, but he needs 3 outs. And the heart of the order is up for Smoke Laval's LSU Tigers.
Tough situation for a freshman right here. He hadn't seen many of these situations. I'm sure 8,000+ people in the stands come in the bottom of the 9th inning against the Tigers.
Hitters batted just .229 against LaMotta this season. That was the 3rd best batting average against in the Big 12. J.C. Holt, who's been swinging the hot bat, is at the plate, though he has struck out the last 2 times up. LaMotta misses away, ball 1.
LaMotta's got a good hard fastball. You know, he's 88 to 90 miles an hour with a good, strong breaking pitch.
Of the 21st hitters he has faced this year as a reliever, only 1 has gotten a hit. Strike on the outside corner.
That's a breaking ball right there. Came back with a 1-0 breaking ball.
J.C. Holt. Doesn't have a hit in this one. 0 for 3. Does have a walk. Breaking ball for a strike.
There's that good breaking ball we talked about. That's 2 in a row. That thing was nasty. It went straight down.
So Holt in a bit of a hole at 1 and 2. Liuzza at second. Sproul at first. Aaron Hill, their All-American, is on deck. Tying run here at the plate, though, in Holt. Remember when he was up last time with a chance to do some damage? Stephen White struck him out on a called third strike. Holt with 5 homers this year. 34 RBI, but is prone to the strikeout. Pitch is high, 2-2.
Like a straight change right there. I think he throws a straight change as well.
Now he threw the changeup 1 and 2. Would he throw it 2 and 2?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But his breaking ball so far has been a really good pitch for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back with a 2-2 breaking ball right here. There it is.
Little breaking ball, blooper foul by about 3 feet down the third base line. It was the pitch that LaMotta wanted. It was the pitch Holt felt he could handle as he went the other way with it, but just missed. Foul. Two on. 2 and 2 to J.C. Holt. Nobody out in the bottom of the 9th. Just missed high, and the count is full. With Holt's penchant for striking out, do you run anybody here?
Absolutely not. You can't run right here. You got to leave them in place. You got your All-American coming up. You got Hill on deck.
Got to play for a bundle. Strike 3 call.
These Baylor pitchers time and time again in big situations tonight have been able to get the 3-2 breaking ball over the plate, and they do it again.
That is the 3rd time in the game J.C. Holt has struck out. He had struck out just once in his 14 previous postseason appearances. Actually, that's right. That is the 4th time he has struck out in 5 plate appearances. He walked in the 3rd. And LaMotta has 1 out. Here's Aaron Hill. Breaking ball over for a strike.
He's got a really good breaking ball tonight, this kid.
Hill with a single, but also has struck out. First-round draft pick of the Toronto Blue Jays. Swings at the 0-1 pitch and pops it up. LaMotta looks at it, and the third baseman is going to come over and make the play, Michael Griffin. It's an adventure. Baylor under pop flies in these last couple innings.
I think the wind is really blowing a lot harder up there than we think it is. Let's give him a pitch right now.
But that is a huge out as Aaron Hill pops up on the 0-1 pitch. Just a fastball, letter high. LaMotta directed some traffic, and finally Griffin called him off and made the catch. Wind must be swirling a little bit.
Yeah.
But here comes Blake Gill. Gill is 2 for 4. He struck out to lead off the 8th inning. Has led off 2 other innings, though, with base hits. 2 down, 2 on. Gill still the tying run at the plate. 5 homers on the season. Hitting .313, but 400, and now better than 400 here in the postseason.
Yeah, he's the guy they want at the plate right now.
Sophomore from Bradenton, Florida. He just gets a piece of it.
Straight change right there, got him out in front of that pitch a little bit.
1-1 to Blake Gill. He's the tying run at the plate. Clay Harris. Big slugger on deck if Gill can extend the inning. The 1-1 low, ball 2. Gill actually a better road hitter than he has been here at the box. You saw his number over 300 for the season, but just at 290 here at Alex Box this year. 2 hits, swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Another breaking ball behind the count. 2-1 breaking ball. You can see by this kid was a freshman All-American right here. He's really got some good stuff. A lot of confidence, too. Takes a lot of confidence to go 3-2 breaking balls in the 9th inning. 2-1 breaking balls.
LaMotta in the postseason, now 16 innings, allowed just a couple of runs, an ERA of 2.9, and he gets the founder foul there by Gill. A 19-year-old freshman on the mound throwing to a 21-year-old sophomore. He just gets younger every day, don't he?
Younger and younger. And these arms, live arms, I tell you.
2 on, 2 out. 2-2 to the second baseman, Blake Gill. LaMotta high, ball 3. Well, there's one advantage to LSU in that third ball is that it will set the runners off. 3-2 and 2 out. Steve Smith.
He threw a nice 3-2 breaking ball a couple batters ago. Let's see if he comes back with it again.
Tigers with the hats on backwards. Here's the full count pitch. Runners go, and it's looped into center field. Getting a late break on the ball is Durbin, but he makes the catch. Chris Durbin makes the catch for the out. The Baylor Bears have won the first of this best 2 out of 3, 4-1 over LSU. Stephen White winning his 9th.